Well, hello. Welcome to the Audio Roast Podcast. I'm your host, Jared Isaacs. I just realized I don't have a light in front of me. I'm like, man, why am I so dark? It's sitting over there. I'll get it in a second.
You look fine.
I look all right. I look all right. I'm looking at the darkest TV in the room, too.
Yeah.
Hello and happy Sunday, y'all. So, Josh, let's go ahead and kick things off here on the old Audio Roast Podcast. Don't forget that if you're watching along on the live stream right now, feel free to leave a comment and like the video, but please share it to your page so that your friends know what we're doing as well, so that they can come join in on the fun. You can also get audio-only versions of the show when I upload them, which I totally dropped the ball last week and have not. So I will play catch-up after the show tonight and do that. So audio-only episodes.
You're a busy man.
Wherever you find podcasts, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify, Stitcher, so on and so forth. You know. Yes, I am.
You are.
Indeed. It's nuts. Become a patron. It's a really cool way to support what we're doing here on the show. You know, I wanted to stop and say this. We've got some, I'm going to say it, some kick-ass sponsors. And they help do a lot with the show. They help us to pay for all that we're doing on the show, as far as where we stream to, the platforms we use, and all that kind of stuff, as well as put on some live events and that kind of thing without us having to dig into our pockets. But even with those awesome sponsors, we could still do more if you guys were willing to chip in a little bit, especially now that we're rounding the corner to 'tis the season. I heard some talk about a live show or something, and we might have to discuss what we want to do on that. If we want to do some Thanksgiving, Christmas, something. So anyway, it's a really cool way to
start the show. Charlie Brown dinner.
There you go.
Yeah.
There you go.
Like everything they made, the popcorn, the jelly beans, the pretzels, the toast. We could do a Charlie Brown dinner.
Well, there is going to be a Charlie Brown. The whole soundtrack will be played live by members of 7D Funk here at the Riff sometime in the end of December.
The Christmas soundtrack?
Mm-hmm, yep.
Sweet.
Yep. So, yeah, Patreon. Check it out. Also, don't forget about playlists at the end of most episodes. Not today's by chance, but last week we had a really cool one. You may not be able to find it yet. I don't know why. It couldn't be that I haven't put it out yet.
No.
But R&B.
It's free. What they got to complain about?
Right, exactly. R&B from 1988 to 1989. See, if you're a patron, you could be like, hey, what am I paying you for? Da-da-da. And then I'd be like, you know what? You're right. Let me get right on it. But now I'm like, I'm just going to, whenever it gets done, it gets done. So check them out. Good stuff, good music. You'll dig it. You can also go to our website at audioroast.com. There you can find your official one-stop shop for all of your Audio Roast needs, whether it's playlists from the past, merch, sponsors, past episodes, you name it, we got it.
Right, not this past episode.
Right, the past episodes. Yeah. Good stuff. Don't forget, last week we did R&B from 88 to 89. We had Todd Osborne and Darren Williams here on the show.
That was a great episode.
I had such...
Man, if you haven't heard it, you're going to have to wait a little bit.
I'm telling you, man, that was fun. I ain't going to lie, that was a lot of work, but it was a damn lot of fun. We took the whole studio downstairs to the Riff and changed things up a little bit, which was fantastic. We had great conversation with both gentlemen. Amazing musicians, amazing dads, amazing people. Good stuff. If you missed it, you missed it. Go back and check it out. This week,
no sound effect on that.
Right?
One.
Yeah, I don't know. It was weird. Is Ask Us Anything. That's what we're doing today. So if you want to know what size jacket Joshua Poole wears when he's on stage, if you want to know what his favorite cereal is, if you want to know anything, you just ask us. We'll tell you. If you want to know something about the music community, we'll discuss that as well. Got a lot to get into. A lot of great suggestions so far. So, 7 songs in 7 days. We're live, pal. All right, 7 songs in 7 days. Here we go. Coming in from Deborah Shelton in the number 7 position from this past week. Josh is going to kill me. Drunk by Ellie King and Miranda Lambert.
Well, if there were better songs, then there were better songs.
I mean,
but we'll see.
Okay, that's fair. So here's what I have in my notes. Miranda seemed to have changed the way that she sings, probably just for the song.
Like Ellie King in that.
Right.
Close
and I was like, can you not
just
like, I love the old, and again, I grew up in country in the 90s. I know Miranda wasn't really quite there yet, but back in those days when you would do a duet with another country artist, you're doing it for their signature sound.
Right.
And it's like, well, don't change who you are. Otherwise, she would have asked anybody. She could have asked an impressionist to be her, so that's where I put it in on that. And Ellie King's voice is okay to me in small doses. I enjoy her. If it was the other way around, if it was a Miranda Lambert song featuring Ellie King, I'd be like, yeah, this is better. But yeah.
She did a great episode of Live from Daryl's House.
Oh, okay. I'll
Really
have to check that out because I actually enjoy that show. There you are. Hey, Josh, welcome to the show.
Hey.
Coming in at number 6 from CJ Garmo, Velvet Underground's Heroin. Good song. Very chill. Made me want to take a walk on the wild side. Yeah. Very good. I enjoyed that. That was refreshing coming from Mr. Garmo there. Good stuff. Good job. Dig it. In the number 6 spot, speaking of Garmo, we've got from Kim Garmo Ree, Rain King by the Counting Crows. That's a good song.
Yeah.
Just made me want to listen to Mr. Jones. So, number 5. In the number 4 spot from Julia Lay Cab, we've got Harvest Moon by Neil Young. Simple, smooth, loved it. Good stuff. In the number 3 spot from Kylie Meyer, we have Where You Belong by 38 Special. I gotta say, this is a great song. This is very much more pop sounding than like that Southern Rocky kind of stuff that I associate that band with for some reason.
Well, that was like later 80s for them.
Well, there you go.
So
there you go.
But it still sounds like 38 Special.
It does. Yeah.
That was when I heard it, that was my only drawback. It's like the lyrical element of it could have fallen into any one of their other songs.
Sure. Yeah. A lot of the melodies and stuff that they used were pretty similar, the keys and whatnot. Yep. What's not similar is what's number 2 from David Klein's. We've got Beth by Kiss, the song that nearly broke the band. As if what's the disco? I Was Made for Loving You. If that didn't do it, Eric Carr's like random, Eric Carr, Peter Criss, his random ballad didn't. In retrospect, it could have easily killed the band, in my opinion. Like you watch a video from. That was taken from the movie they made and stuff. And I'm like, this is not the Kiss that I want to remember. But it's good stuff. I enjoyed it. What do you think of that song?
It's written about a dog.
It's written about a dog, but in a way that it seems like it's to your lover back home and you're out on the road being a musician. It's very Journey, Open Arms, or Faithfully.
I was not a member of the Kiss Army, so, one song is good as another to me for Kiss.
Wow. Coming in hot. In the number 1 spot, also from David Klein's, we've got A Horse with No Name by America.
At some point,
first part of the journey.
At some point, he could have given that horse a name. At some point.
Especially after all this time. Where's the sequel? Where's the sequel?
I blame America.
Name him Bill.
I blame America for that horse not having a name.
Blame America. Gotta love it. So congratulations go to David Klein's for your being the winner this week on 7 Songs in 7 Days. Now is your time.
Yeah.
To nominate your picks, just use the hashtag 7. Choose any song, any day, any genre, any day, any style, any way, just give us a song, y'all. And we're going to take the next 7 days, give it a listen, give it a rank. Because it's good music. It's our opinion. It's fun. And we can. We're going to take a quick break. Josh has got to answer his phone. And we're going to come back with more stuff. So stick around.
Hey, musicians. Do your shows need that extra layer of fun and excitement? Wow your fans with next-level production and let Sunset Productions help you up your game. We can create custom and unique sound, lighting, and video packages designed just for you and your budget. Let's work together and give our community the shows they deserve. For more information, contact Jared Isaacs at Sunset Productions Springfield at gmail.com. You can also check us out on Facebook and Instagram at Sunset Productions. Sunset Productions. Don't be a jukebox. Be an experience.
Oh man, I
Howdy.
forgot to put my light out front.
Oh
Crap.
my goodness.
That's all right.
You're still dark. You look okay though.
You know. Let's see here. What are we drinking today, Josh? What have we got in the
What are
in the
we
old
drinking?
mug?
We are drinking breakfast in America.
Breakfast in America.
Are you ever
God,
gonna
that
put the
drives
right song
Josh
on there?
nuts every time.
Let's see what we got on breakfast in America. It is a light roast, morning brew, nutty, sweet citrus, dark. What are you doing over there? You getting a light? Yes, it's sweet citrus, dark chocolate. And while Mr. Jared Isaacs gets his light ready because he's the epitome of vanity, got to see myself. Got to be pretty. Did you put on any powder to make sure you don't shine? No. Well, I mean, we could do a behind the scenes thing. You could bring it over and talk. And, applying makeup is called farding. Farding. No, I'm not making it up. Okay, but the light's on. We just need a host. Alrighty, let's see. We got any more?
Hot tag.
Hey,
there you go, Josh. You did
okay.
great. I can't tell a
Thank
difference
you.
in the light, but makes me feel.
Doesn't look any different over here.
Yeah. Only difference is I'm fat and out of shape. All right. So yeah, breakfast in America is what we're drinking. Yeah. What else we got?
Let's go to the comments.
All right, let's do that. Let me jump up here to the top. David Klein says here. He says, hello. How's it going? Joshua Poole here says, today is Ask Us Anything. We do our best to answer honestly, or at least I believe the lie. Or at least believe the lie. Yeah. It's pretty well said. Seasonal question. My favorite classic scary movie character pre-1970. Mine is Nosferatu from 1921. Good stuff. Pre-1970, though. That's so specific.
Yeah.
Is that before? No, of course that's before Halloween.
would
Halloween
be
was
like-
late 70s.
You could do Dracula or Frankenstein's monster or Creature from the
Okay, well, it's
Black
definitely not the Mummy. That was the dumbest one.
Lagoon.
Let's do an hour and a half on that.
Yeah, how
No.
dumb the mummy is. Now, Abbott and Costello.
What a dummy mummy.
Abbott and Costello's mummy was pretty funny.
Yeah, true. Yeah, I would. Man, classic scary movie. Okay, so it's movie specific. I was gonna say Herman Munster, but so I guess I'll have to say Frankenstein. Yeah, the Bride of Frankenstein or the Bride of Frankenstein, whichever.
But have you ever seen Nosferatu?
yeah, oh yeah,
Oh,
no,
dude, that
it's
is so
amazing classic.
creepy.
Yeah, for sure.
And there was a great movie about that, Shadow of the Vampire.
Yeah.
Which was a story behind the making of it. I think slightly fictionalized, but
Right.
Yeah, great.
Good stuff. Good stuff.
We need one more.
What about
7
you?
and 7.
We haven't even got there yet.
We haven't even got there.
No,
Okay, this one, just tossing it out.
Yeah.
I've never been big in monster movies, but I would have to say probably the early Draculas.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, the Bela Lugosi Dracula. the original.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. See, you bring up another good one though. I might have to change mine to the Christopher Lee version.
Yeah.
Hmm.
I
I think that's where I'm at.
I've
on that.
never seen that. It seems a little B movie-ish to me.
Oh, absolutely. But I mean, yeah, absolutely.
Christopher Lee's such a great actor. To see him doing something like that is kind of disheartening.
Well, I mean, okay, that's fair. All right, good stuff, Julia. Let us know, everybody else that's watching along. Let us know your favorite classic scary movie character pre-1970. This will be interesting. Christy says the Invisible Man and the Creature from the Black Lagoon. Was Invisible Man that old?
I've never saw it.
Literally,
Literally,
there was
I
a
never saw
Kevin
The
Bacon
Invisible
movie,
Man.
The Invisible Man. I think
Yeah.
it was fantastic, and y'all better leave me alone.
Yeah, you complain about me.
Y'all better leave me alone. This Rift phone, I'm about ready to check it out the window. All right. Now then, we've got Julie Lee Cobb, #7 Pink Moon by Nick Drake. Drake was my old last name. No relation. Well, that's good to know. Hopefully, I'm more concerned that it's not related to the artist Drake.
Yeah.
Than your maiden name. Just saying.
Yeah.
Kylie says, "I love 38 Special." Well, good. Yeah, I enjoy them. They're good stuff. I wouldn't
wasn't
say
knocking
that.
them. Just saying.
Yep, I agree. I wouldn't.
Just spitting facts there, Kylie.
Good stuff, Kylie. Good submission. Kim says, #7 Mona Lisa by Grant Lee Phillips. Is that Mona Lisa? Oh
Mona
boy.
Lisa.
Oh boy. She's
Some
been
have
watching The
named
Love
you.
Boat. I could tell that was on there. I could just tell. Tara says, The Joke by Brandy Carlisle. Has she submitted that before, or was that one that
I don't think. I don't know. I don't think.
I feel
so.
like we've done that one, but I think that was Abigail Burbridge. It might have sent that. I think if that's the same song.
it might be.
Is that the one where she's in the video and there's like glass and she's trying to get through it or something? I can't remember. But
Hey.
we're definitely putting it down.
Tara, I was thinking about you today. I was listening to a Sarah Bareilles song called Gravity, and
We
It-
reacted to that too. Yeah.
You-
Good.
yeah,
good.
it. I think Tara would kill that song if she ever were
Oh,
to
yeah.
perform it. Yeah, it's an amazing song. I request that you sing that sometime in your career. What are you doing? We got a disappearing host.
I about fell over. I raised my light too tall and I couldn't read the comments.
Oh my
very well.
gosh.
This little light of mine, I'm gonna raise it high. Can't read your comments at all. All right. Speaking of music careers.
Yeah.
Crap, it went everywhere.
We were on
David Klein
yeah.
says, "Thank you very much." Well, absolutely.
winning.
Thank you
Yeah.
for your submissions. Good music,
Both of
David.
them. They're not
Let's
bad.
try to keep it to one per week, though. Stephen Furlong, how's it going, buddy? Been a minute since we've seen you here. Thanks for
Are
joining
you
us.
related to Edward Furlong? The kid in
Okay,
Terminator?
I'm like Ed Furlong.
No.
Get it?
No,
It's
no. I was actually talking about an actor.
Okay. Steven says #7 scattered black and whites by Elbow. Oh, interesting. Well, that'll be new music. Never heard that. David says #7. Look, whoa. Let's slow the roll. David Klein says #7.
Went to the Garden Party by Ricky Nelson. We've already done that. So we need a couple more songs.
Oh, I like how I had that muted. Yeah, good job on the #7.
Yeah.
Way to go, David. What were you saying about it?
We've already done this.
Yeah, we already did the other, but remember I've said in the past too, what might be in #7 one week comparatively might be number 1 another week.
Right.
So
So are
I'm
we gonna,
totally
you gonna
yeah.
do it again?
Oh, yeah,
Okay,
totally.
we'll review it again.
Kylie says #7 got a hold on me by Christy McVie. McVie is what I'm going with. Steven says, question for the show. How do you and Joshua handle the pressure of being so awesome? Well, let's just say that Joshua handles it a lot better than me. He's way cooler at being awesome.
It's just something you are. If
You
you
either
can't
got it
handle
or you
it, then you
don't.
probably aren't it.
Let's see. We can
Yeah,
Hey, there we go.
Yeah, so being awesome is more of a state. If you can't handle it, then you're not awesome. It's like
Yeah.
Fonzie being cool. He just could not be cool.
right. He just is.
He is. So if you can't handle being awesome, then you're not awesome.
Spitting
Right?
facts over
Right?
in the corner.
Does that make sense to you guys out there?
Oh man.
All right.
Now my foot pedal won't work. All right, there we go. Let's see here. Good stuff, Steven. Appreciate that one. That one was funny. Doug says, I heard you mention The Godfather, Living in America, Sex Machine, get up off of that thing. It's a man's world, cold sweat, funky good time. Papa's got a brand new bag. Jam, mother popcorn. For goodness sakes, look at those cakes.
Mm-mm.
I mean, does it get any better?
Dude, the lyrics and funk music were
Get up
They-
off of
they're-
that thing.
some of the stuff from like Brick House. She's the only one built like an Amazon.
I dare you to
Come
try to
on.
sit still during a James Brown song. I dare you. I mean, good Lord.
Well, it was just so funky.
Yeah,
It's
absolutely.
so funky. You can't
He was
help
one
it.
of the first people, Doug, that I watched live. And when I say live, I mean, obviously I didn't get to go see him live, but live video footage of him. It was the first time I saw a front man being a front man in a different sense of the word, not like flashy and David Lee Roth style. I'm talking like a band leader, like 1, 2, 3, 4, ha, pow. And he'd like have these hand cues and stuff. And I mean, the band was just right on with every little thing, every little breath, every little footstep, everything. And I'm like, man, that is professionalism to the nth degree. Was James Brown. Good stuff, man. Good stuff. Abigail Burbridge. Hey, how's it going, Abigail? Hashtag 7 drunk and I don't want to go home. Well, look at there. Have we reacted to that one before, Josh?
I don't think so, but I know
You
a
don't
lot of
think
people
so?
who share that sentiment.
You don't think we've reacted to that?
I don't think so. I think the closest we got
So
to
when-
reacting to that was when we had Kimberly Dill and Jam and Shane.
I think this is all going right over Josh's head, but we'll carry on.
Or are you making some sort of illusion that I'm unaware of?
No, well, that was what ranked number 7 this week.
Oh, was it?
Miranda Lambert and Ellie King. That's what that
I
song
thought it
is.
was just drunk.
No, drunk and the parentheses, and I don't want to go home.
Okay.
So
Are they
we'll
just
see if it stacks
requesting
up better
everything?
next week. That's the perfect litmus
Okay.
test.
Well, we'll see.
Julia says, "Do you hate the Mummy because of the Yeti?" Steven asked me to ask. Yes.
The Yeti and the Mummy. There's a
yes,
Yeti and the Mummy. I've
Well,
never
yeah.
seen.
If you know, you know. If you
Okay.
don't, I won't waste your time.
Okay, please don't. I'm not
See, Josh
interested
is
in
getting
it anyway.
smart.
I'm
Yeah,
not
he's like,
interested
okay, then I'm
anyway.
over. Next.
Yeah.
Next. So Abigail says by Ellie King and Miranda Lambert. Yeah.
Okay, well,
Christy Pressler says Karloff is the best Dracula, hands down,
mhm. Karloff is the best Dracula.
according to C Press.
Did Karloff play Dracula? I know he played the Frankenstein monster.
I don't know. Did he also direct or produce?
I don't know.
I'm not good on that stuff. Christy Pressler says Invisible Man 1937.
Yeah.
Well, there's one in like 1997 that came out too. It was good. But I know which one you're talking about, and it was good. Oh, you know what? Actually,
Claude Rains, I believe played the Invisible Man
okay,
in the original.
gotcha. I know it's not a scary movie, but there was if you listen to I'm gonna date myself now.
Was
Not
Claude
that
Rains
I'm
or-
there's not that I'm as old as everybody here necessarily, but I grew up listening to tapes of old time radio stuff, and one of the tapes was Sorry Wrong Number, and they actually had a film about that, and to me that was super crazy, super scary. And another one that was just like that was one called The Hitchhiker, and to me, I thought that anytime that you can do storytelling without visuals like that, you're automatically going to get more scary with things. It's just the nature of the beast. But nonetheless, it was good. It was good. Check it out if you haven't. I'll post it on our page actually. Deborah Klein says, "What's your favorite line from Young Frankenstein?" Well, I mean, come on, really? Is this where I go, "It's alive," and then you're like, "Oh, do you know that's not Frankenstein?" I'm like, "Yep."
Actually, it's Frankenstein.
Frankenstein.
No, I think my favorite line. I mean, everyone's gonna go with, "Wow, look at those knockers." But
Yeah.
actually, my favorite
Are
line
they?
is, "Werewolf, werewolf, what? Werewolf, werewolf."
Oh man. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that scared me so much just hearing that.
What, the knockers line?
No, all of it. I'm like, how is this even a scary movie?
It's not as Young Frankenstein's.
Oh, Young Frankenstein.
Young Frankenstein.
Oh.
It is a classic send up of
There
Mel
you go.
Brooks.
There you go. Yep. Nope. Kylie Meyer says, "I'm not really into scary movies." Same here. I mean, obviously, it's they're inescapable at some point. I've seen Halloween. I've seen Friday the 13th, Freddy Krueger, all the big ones. Have I seen everyone in every series? Nope. Do I care to? Nope. Random question, Josh. Where you
Yeah.
at on haunted houses?
Don't like them.
Same.
I'm
Why
not
would I
one-
give you money to make me pee my
right.
pants?
I don't
Uh-uh.
I don't like riding roller coasters. I don't like being scared is not a feeling I enjoy.
True.
And I am comfortable in saying that.
Oh, I'm 100% the same. Always have been. But
Yep.
you know what the juxtaposition is for me on that?
What?
I get such a thrill out of scaring the bejesus out of people.
Well,
Oh my God. And then as soon as I do it, the first thought is, the second thought is, uh-oh, now they're going to get me.
Yeah.
Dang it.
mhm.
Yeah. It's just the nature of the beast. Let's see here. Abigail says, I think I submitted that one. Yes. Yeah, that's what I thought. Okay, good stuff. Ah, crap. Went all over the place again. Tara says, thank you, and I will. Sarah B is awesome.
Yeah.
Abigail says, Tara, were you the one that who played singing the story one time? Oh, yeah. Because if so, you would be so good at Gravity. Yes.
Dude,
Yeah.
I tell you.
Yeah.
I just hear her voice all over that song.
Oh, for sure. Absolutely. No, Abigail, if you haven't had a chance to hear Tara sing, she's fantastic. Truly, truly awesome. Caitlin says, no, he's my husband. There you go.
What?
Stephen Furlong, Ed Furlong, Furlong. I don't
But
know.
not really. Okay.
Who's who? Who's on first? Caitlin says, does Psycho count?
Psycho
Oh, hell yeah.
absolutely counts.
Absolutely.
It's a scary. Those psychological
How about
thrillers.
The Blob? Anybody? No? Okay.
Psychological thrillers to me are more scary than
Hands down.
you know. There's.
I
gonna
don't
be
need to
jump
see what's behind the
scares.
door.
Yeah.
Just
Mm-mm.
build
Yeah.
the anticipation. That's scary enough.
Absolutely.
Yep. Don't need a payoff. Steven says, no relationship to the actor, but if you're safe now, you're not for long.
Nice. Are we waiting on a sound effect here? Just have that look on your face.
Right. Yes. I'm glad you noticed that. Tara says, yes, and thank you, Abigail. I'd love to sing Gravity. We might have to have Tara come over to the studio and pop in and just start singing for us.
Sound effect was way down on this. So.
Was it?
Yeah.
It was
So
fine in my ears.
hit a
so
sound effect.
Oh, okay.
Here,
Let's
so I
see
can hear
here.
I got a bad feeling about
There it is. The feed was down, so no one else
Steven
got to-
says, Joshua, I love that response, man. You're so awesome. Doug says, I can testify that Tara can sing anything. Yeah, I agree. I think so too. Tara says, oh, thanks, Doug. I want to see, I know that Julia LeCobb and Josh did karaoke to Body Bee. I would like
Yeah.
to hear Tara do that just because
Yeah.
it'd be interesting. Doug says Lon Chaney was a brilliant horror actor.
He was.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Christy says, yes, the original Dracula before Frankenstein. Also, Dracula's assistant was played by Dr. Frankenstein's assistant. Well, the more you know. Gene Simmons of Kiss wrote a song about Lon Chaney called Man of a Thousand Faces. That's correct.
right.
Yep. Good stuff, too. Doug is one of our resident Kiss fans. He'll get all the love over here on this channel. He might
I'd
get
say
buried
he'd
over
be-
on the Unsung channel, but
Probably be a general in the Kiss Army.
right. Yeah. Exactly. Lisa says, hey guys, sorry we're late. Had to have a serious get your shit together conversation with our kid. Oh boy. Uh-oh, where'd it go?
I got a bad feeling about this.
So yeah, get your stuff together, kid. Yeah. Well, glad you're here with us, Lisa. You had a awesome question for us that we're going to get to here pretty quick. So yeah. Jonna says classic Petra interview. Wow.
Yes.
What do you know about
yeah,
that?
I'm gonna get in touch with you this week. We're trying to figure out how we're gonna do that. And I had to come up with some things because we're wanting to fit it into kind of like what we do on our show. So I've
Yeah.
been thinking about like
It's a logistics
some
thing.
songs in reverse that maybe they can play if they would be able to play some games on there, and
Yeah.
So
We're going to make something happen.
Yeah,
there,
we
John.
are.
So
we are.
yeah, reach out to Josh, reach
Oh,
out to
yeah.
me, reach out to whomever. But yeah, we want to make something happen for sure.
Yeah. I mean, I've talked with your dad before and hung out with him and Louis, and I want to get together with the rest of the guys because that's going to be a once in a lifetime type thing for me.
I just want to see Josh fanboy.
Oh,
I
dude.
mean, yeah, it is what it is.
We may have to invite some other people in here who will fanboy.
Yeah,
out.
I'm for
Paul
it. I'm
Carson
for it.
or Dan Fritz. And
right. I'm for it.
if you've ever seen Dan Fritz starstruck,
No,
It is
and that's what I'm saying.
amazing
Like,
to
yeah,
see.
no, I'm here
last
for
time
it.
Greg was in town, he came over to the house and yeah.
There you go. Deborah says the wolf, their castle.
Their wolf. Their castle.
Oh, their wolf, their castle. Yeah,
werewolf. Their wolf.
Yes.
Their castle.
Their castle. What's your favorite kind of cereal?
I don't eat cereal. I'm more of a protein man. I'm sorry.
What do you mean by protein, man?
Oh, you know, I like a good sausage in the mouth in the morning.
Oh, really? I actually have you pegged for somebody that doesn't even eat breakfast.
Some most of the times, but yeah.
Shame on you, Josh. Shame on you. Well, my favorite kind of cereal changes. I am the quintessential 6-year-old when it comes to cereal. I have not grown up to the protein or the raisin brands or the anything. Josh, I'm sorry.
I lost
the green one.
You lost the green one. I'll get you another one.
Yeah, get right on that.
Okay.
So yeah, the more sugary, diabetic inducing crap, the more I'm on board with it. Some of my go-tos are like Rice Krispies with marshmallows, s'mores. I do like honey and almond toasted flakes or whatever they are. Those are good. But yeah, whatever your kid likes, I would probably love. That's the answer. Jonas says, topic request. Uh-oh.
That's the Petra interview.
Oh,
That's the
gotcha.
topic request. Yep.
Yep.
Absolutely, John.
David with a good one. Betty Davis, Shuttered Room. Man, she's got Betty Davis eyes.
Never seen. I haven't seen a whole lot of Betty Davis movies.
I mean, to be honest, same, but she was a phenomenal actress. I really liked her a lot. Yeah, really good stuff. Deborah says, I want to go to the corn maze. No haunted houses. You know what's funny? I saw a video on Facebook this week, and it was not a corn maze, but a cornfield, and there was a farmer using a combine to harvest it all. And there were 6 black bears inside of the corn. And so like as the combine is going forward, you see like just bears like continually just coming out of this little strip of corn. It's like, where the heck were they? Growing up on a farm, I got to say, I never had to worry about bears in the corn, but apparently some people do.
Mm-hmm.
That was pretty haunting. That's my haunting corn maze story for the week. You're welcome. Julia says, I like the old movies because they were more about suspense instead of just gore. Great, yet very scary stories to tell. Here's my point on that. I will agree with that, but I'll also add, they didn't rely on the freaking jump scares. God, I'm so over that.
Yeah.
Oh, what is up with that? Like intense music, quiet. You know it's coming.
Mm-hmm.
No thanks.
There is a really good little docu thing on Netflix called Hollywood Cliches.
Okay.
And Rob Lowe is like the host of it, and it's like all of the cliches that you see in Hollywood movies. And one of them is like the baguette poking out of the bag of groceries. and it shows like scenes from movies that everyone's carrying a bag of groceries, a paper bag of groceries, and got a baguette.
Wow.
And they talk about jump scares and that, but it's really interesting. It's about an hour long.
Oh, there you go. Oh. Is there any, I mean, did you learn why that's a go-to?
I don't know.
Yeah. See?
I don't know.
There's
it's just
your
that
answer.
something.
So stop doing it.
Yeah.
Stephanie says, I've worked at a haunted house, but can't walk through one. Oh, that's interesting. Did you work at Hotel of Terror, or where did you work, and for how long? How? When? Why?
Yeah.
I actually, that would be fun. I ain't gonna lie.
Yeah.
I would be
love
exactly
to be on
like
the
her.
Performance side of it.
Yes.
You know, if I hadn't gone into like music or something, I would have definitely considered going into like horror makeup.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love that sort of stuff.
Huh, very cool.
I would take like the Play-Doh, not
Mhm.
Play-Doh, but the rubbery stuff. I guess
Silly putty?
Silly putty. And I would make fake noses and stuff like that. And yeah. When I was like in elementary school, like, yeah, Play-Doh. Silly putty works best. It's more skin colored.
True. Did you ever do the newspaper transfer with Silly
Yes,
Putty? Yeah,
of course.
that's like
You
as
had
soon as you
to.
crack it, that's the first thing
Yeah,
you gotta
when you
do.
get Silly putty, you have to do
Right.
those
Now I
transfers.
feel bad for anybody that buys Silly Putty because they're like, hey, do we even have newspapers anymore?
Yeah, it doesn't work the same on your phone.
Oh man.
Here, let
good
me
stuff.
copy this link.
Deborah Klein says, I'd rather see a good ghost story like The Others or The Frighteners. Oh, The Frighteners was a fun movie.
Was an amazing movie.
Yeah.
Did not get the respect.
Oh, I totally agree. It should have been way more mainstream. And looking back, it's more, I don't even want to say B. It's almost more culty as far as like, if you saw it, you're like, oh, I'm a big fan. But if you had to introduce somebody, they'd be like, eh. And I'm like, no, this is an awesome movie. Yeah, really good stuff. Abigail says, Coraline is about as scary as I'll watch. Yeah, I totally get that. I will say Coraline wasn't necessarily one of my favorites of his, but it was all right. Jonah says, I'm headed to Nashville now to see them.
Well, find out when's best for them all to get together, and we can try to work our schedule around it.
I might even make Joshua give you a jangle after this episode if you're going to be around. If you're just driving, let us know. Julia says, I'm going to start calling her that. Pristy Kressler.
Pristy Kressler
is right. The actor Dwight Fry played both assistants, and Alice Cooper wrote a song about him. Sure enough.
It's called Friday.
Did he write it on a Thursday?
I guess so.
Caitlin Logan says, the old Oreos with cream marshmallows, 100%. Oh, okay. Nice. I would rather just eat Oreos than Oreo cereal, I will say on that one. Speaking of which, actually, let's not go from there just yet. What's funny is I had a conversation this week about Pop-Tarts. Everybody thinks that I'm all about the Pop-Tarts. Well, let me tell you, I'm not. Full disclosure, this was something from well over a year ago that stemmed from Deb Shelton, Shane Jennings, and somebody else. And
I was on that.
Yeah, there was like, it was, and this was like the all day 26-hour thread. And so it just became a thing. But what's funny is I'm way more passionate about Oreos or Doritos, or I could even get on board with cereals. This Pop-Tart thing is just taking a life of its own, though.
And chips in general. What is the deal with the fire stuff? Why has everything got to be flaming hot nowadays?
Because everything else is boring. But it's so formulaic of any corporation. Oh, that works. Let's do that. No, I want to do that. No, he wants to do that. And then before you know it, everybody's doing it. Yeah. Don't worry. We'll be back to like nacho cheese before long.
Kind of like grunge.
Yeah, we're just going through a hootie phase.
Right. Yeah. You get one Nirvana, then you have to have 10,000 Maniacs.
Once you pop, one don't stop. Oh my God. Oh, what are we doing? Julia says, 'tis the season. One of my favorite kind of cereal is all the monster cereals. Fruit Brute, but if I can find it, usually Frankenberry, Boo Berry, and Count Chocula in that order. There was a mummy one that's not around anymore. It's Boo Berry now, I think is what it's called. But
no,
yeah.
Boo Berry was always around. When I was a kid, they used to have Count Chocula all the time, Frankenberry all the time, and Boo Berry all the time. And then I don't know what happened. They became seasonal.
I'll be down. There you go. Caitlin says, I also agree with Julia Lay Cobb. Yeah, they're good cereals. I actually haven't had any in a long time of those. We love sugary cereal over here too. Well, good stuff. I mean, that's how we got to get our energy, right, kids? All right. Kim says, I would like to know how you all feel about shopping local / what's everyone's favorite local businesses. All right. Josh, you're up first.
I say if you can't hang with the big boys, you don't need to be in business.
What?
No, shop local. Especially if you're like going to buy records. There are some pretty cool records.
Honestly, between you and I alone, we've gotten some pretty damn cool stuff.
We have
by shopping local.
Yeah.
And here's on that something that you're going to get more from somebody local than a big box store, for example. Service.
Yeah.
Jody Cottengim, owner of Rewind Records, is going to know what my musical tastes are now and going to know what Josh is. So when he's outsourcing things, he's going to be like, oh, let me pull this for Josh. Let me pull this for Jared. If you go into, I don't know, if Best Buy sold records, they won't care. They'll just carry Back in Black and Pink Floyd behind, beyond whatever the moon thing was. Maybe in Nirvana, never mind.
Was. You mean that Dark Side of the Moon?
Yes, good Lord. My brain is fried. From I tell you,
Floyd,
it's fried. But yeah, service is what you're going to get a lot more of by shopping local, and it's about building relationships.
And with Jody, he might invite you out to the house to see the stuff he hasn't even put out yet.
Oh, and let me tell you, Josh and I will speak firsthand on that. It is a treasure trove
It
to
really
go.
is.
And it is constantly, it's so cyclical. We could have done that last week and we could go today and it'll be like half of everything is totally different, totally new. It's nuts,
Well,
especially now that he's got 2 stores.
The Petra album that I got from him, he probably would have even put it out in his store, but it was at his house.
Right.
And it's like, dude, because
I wish
he
we were
knows
live streaming
Yeah.
when you found that. It was,
Dude.
we were chatting, we were talking. Jody and I were over on the other side of the room having a conversation, and out of the back we hear, "Oh my gosh!" And we're like, "What?" And then it's Josh with like a mint condition Petra album.
Yeah.
And I was like,
from
"Well, cool."
1975 ish.
Yeah, it was mid 70s, I think. Yeah, but
Yeah.
just, I mean, who would expect to find that
Right.
in somebody's house in Marshfield, Missouri?
Yeah.
Well, if you went to Rewind Records, you'd know what to expect.
And he may not know. He would never have guessed the value of that album to someone like me. So he probably
Sure.
wouldn't have put it out. He
Sure.
wouldn't have seen really the value of it.
He would have been like me in that situation.
Right.
I would have been like Petra. Never heard of them. Don't know
Right.
them. Not that they're not great. I just didn't grow up with it, so I
Right.
don't know it. And that's the way with any music.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you may find an album out at his place that is like 90% of the population wouldn't even care for, but it may have that little touchstone to you, and you have the opportunity to grab that album that I got meant more than anything to me. So
I'm looking. That made me think of. I can't even spell while I'm trying to talk.
what's up?
That's interesting.
We couldn't find.
Tara, Dan, y'all still got a podcast page over there? Or what's
Oh my
happening?
gosh.
I went to look at your Facebook page and it says it doesn't exist.
Should I?
I don't know. That's what I got.
Huh.
Interesting.
Maybe your phone is
Oh,
stupid.
It's the work phone, so it is
Yeah,
stupid.
okay.
It loaded up finally.
Okay.
Freaky.
Maybe the Rift just doesn't want to have anything to do with it. It's probably because of their general manager.
Your page is fired. All right. So speaking of not knowing what's right in front of your nose,
Right.
shout out to the Unsung Dreamers. I'm gonna put that back up here in a second, but shout out to the Unsung Dreamers right here at the Riff last week at the Papa Green Shoe Show. I didn't even know this. Unsung Dreamers posted something. It says it was an absolute thrill to meet Vicky Self Thursday night at Papa Green Shoe Show. We totally fanned out big time. Even brought our vinyl for her to sign. I had no idea who she was, but it's so cool to see what they posted. And it's a picture of her sitting at a Papa Green Shoe Show signing a vinyl record. Just so cool. You never know who you're around. So it's really cool because if you going back to what we're talking about, shop local, you'll learn a lot about stuff too. That's one thing I really love about working with Jody is he gets something, he doesn't know what it is. He's not going to be like, I don't know what it is. Next. He's going to stop and look it up and research it enough to know at least what it is and who it might be valuable to. And really good stuff. Really good stuff. So,
And he's not paying us to say any of this.
No.
This is testimonials from the heart.
yeah,
from us.
truly.
Dude
I mean,
is awesome.
we've got records on the walls. Josh has got records over there. Speaking of which, we've got records down there, I think.
That's Brian Bentoncourt's.
Brian Betancourt, and I
Muppet
think we have
Babies.
one for Kim Garmrian right there too. Marshall Tucker, I believe.
Probably, yeah.
So come get your stuff, yo.
Yeah. But that's the
Um,
difference between shopping locally and going to Walmart.
Yeah.
The manager of Walmart's not going to invite you to his house to get a 12-pack of toilet paper.
Right. Yeah.
But Jody probably would. If you go out to his house looking through some albums and said, I need some toilet paper, he'd probably send you home with a couple rolls.
You know, yeah.
I'm thinking that was a joke, but it's probably true.
Well, it's like I could keep going, but I'm gonna rewind. So minus Rewind Records, what are some other places that you like to shop local or things that you like to do that are local?
What are some things I like? Well, I like the clubs that are local. Of course, all clubs are local.
Yeah, we don't have any franchise
No,
clubs.
we don't do.
Is that a thing?
I
wonder-
think.
well, I mean Hooters, stuff
Yeah.
like that, but I don't really
Yeah.
consider that a bar. I mean, there's some, I think, like the Hard Rock.
Right.
Yeah, I don't know.
You know, I personally, I like to go to the local music stores rather than, I mean, Guitar Center is so quick and easy, but when I can, I shop the local music stores
Right.
For equipment and stuff. What are you laughing at?
It's the difference between going on a date and a quick hookup.
That's right.
You want to get to know you, or you want to wham bam? Thank you, man.
That's right. It's Tinder
It is what it is.
versus going asking a chick out,
Yes. All right.
or Grinder, right? For you, Grindr.
Well, yeah, sure. No, so some of my favorites, you know, I was actually talking with Kim recently about local stuff, and for me, it's not, I don't do a lot of shopping. I don't do a lot of anything. I feel like I've got a lot of crap. I don't need more. But when I do, it's usually like restaurants and stuff.
Mhm.
One of my favorites that she even reminded me of is Caesar's Old Mexico.
Mhm.
Really, really good, authentic Mexican food. So if you're like, oh yeah, but Mexican Villa, man, get the heck out of here. Trust me. Try Caesar's. You're gonna know what real Mexican food is. It's good stuff and ran by good people. There's so much good local business.
Yeah.
Farmers Market is another great one.
Mhm.
So many times I catch myself like at the grocery store in the produce section. I'm like, God, I would get so much better stuff if I would just go to the farmer's market.
Yeah.
So do it. It's good
Yeah.
stuff. Good question, Kim. What about you? What about yourself? Where do you like to go that's local? I know that you're always you're on the beat with that kind of stuff, and some people just really are. London Calling is another one. We had
Yeah.
Neil here on the show from London Calling, and it's just cool to see the story of somebody's idea, no different from us with this show, and watch it grow into something bigger than they could have ever imagined. It's really cool. Deborah Klein says, we had bears and panthers in the country. Good Lord, girl. What'd you do? Grow up in Rio de Janeiro or what? Crazy. Terry says, do they make cereal without crunch berries? So you want just like the little yellow hay bale looking squares from Captain Crunch? What is wrong with you, Terry Jones? Caitlin says, totally. Mike McQuarters here says the original Salem's Lot with the kid vampires floating and scratching on the windows freaked me out when I was a kid. I've never seen it or heard of it, but it sounds freaky. David says, I like all the Friday the 13th movies for sure. Yeah, they're good stuff. Good stuff. Oh, my gosh. Deborah Klein says, yes, scared me too. Stephanie says, it was Haunted Hollow Nightmare, a private haunted house for a charity. Michael, Jeff, and I worked there a few years ago since I had to close. Interesting. Very cool. So did you guys have a lot of people come through on the haunted house there? Did you get to scare the crap out of a lot of people? Hope so. Let's see here. Lisa says, I like Julie's comment about suspense over gore. Oh my gosh, I can't read the sentence. I hate the Sweeney Todd movie because it was all about how gross they could make it and how much blood they could use. The beauty of the onstage show was a focus on the incredible music and the scary insinuations, not how gory it could be. Oh, Lisa, that's a take. My favorite musical is Sweeney Todd.
Yeah.
Oh my God. The movie was fantastic. I do get what you're saying, but being such a fan, the music is what did it for me too, not the gore of the movie.
And I don't know if you've ever seen like any type of stage production of that.
Oh yeah. No,
Okay.
absolutely. Yeah.
So the way that they illustrate the blood from like clips I've seen is much more artistic, like with ribbons rather than blood. And so I get what she's saying, the artistic aspect of it without having to result to blood spewing out on stage.
No, I get that, but let's not forget what the heck he was doing. When he cut somebody's throat, you really think ribbon's going to come out? I don't recommend trying it, but I'm just saying no. A little bit of realism goes a long ways. Now, that being said, it's very much like Tim Burton to do over the top and like super bright red and just it's his style.
Mhm.
So I get what you're saying, but I really liked it, to be honest, and the soundtrack is amazing. All right, Christy Pressler says, and guess who directed Frighteners? He has the Pierce biker guy in the movie, or he was the Pierce biker guy in the movie.
You know who directed it? Peter Jackson.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. Who always makes a cameo in his movies. Jonna says, yes, please.
Yeah.
Duly noted. Deborah says, Cool Ranch Doritos are my favorite. Mine too. Those are my absolute go-to. I'll try all the weird flavors and stuff, but I always come back to Cool Ranch Doritos. And in fact, like whenever I make queso dip or cheese dip or anything, I don't get regular tortillas. I get Cool Ranch Doritos. All the flavor. Julie says, Fruity Mummy Yummy. That's what replaced Fruit Brute because it didn't sell as well. Gotcha. Here you go. I wondered. Are you guys dressing up for Halloween?
Well, we got a gig Halloween weekend, and we are going. The theme is Caddyshack. So,
Oh, really?
yeah. So I think we're gonna be all Carl.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
At least one of us will be Carl.
Right.
Yeah.
That's great. Yeah, I will definitely be dressing up. I don't know what as yet. Nothing's hit me for inspiration yet, but I haven't made it to the Halloween stores or anything yet.
The
So
last time I dressed up for Halloween, I went as Kevin Smith.
really,
I'll have to send that picture to you.
when was your Boats and Hose show? Wasn't that around Halloween?
Well, that was for her.
Or was that just a
birthday party.
Tuesday?
That was her birthday party. Well, that was a Tuesday. We hang out at the docks when we're not
Right.
playing.
Yeah, exactly. Caitlin says Black Box Coffee. I know scandal here, but still. I that doesn't what is that?
I don't know.
Uh-oh. You'll have to fill us in. Julie Lee Cobb says in
Oh,
Springfield.
probably local. There's a coffee shop called Black Box Coffee. That's a local coffee
well,
shop.
what's the scandal? Do tell.
Because we are at the Classic Rock. That's the
Oh!
scandal.
Hey, you're allowed to like other stuff.
That's right.
I still
Yeah.
like Starbucks a lot. I just don't go there as much.
Don't say that.
I will say that. I have
Say
no
that.
shame. Now, are there other locals that I like? Yeah, sure. But I'm still a, you know what I am. I like my pumpkin spice. I did have a smashing pumpkin here at Classic Rock Coffee this past week, and it was pretty dang good. Loved it. Julie says in Springfield, love London Calling pasties, and Branson, I love Waxies. Yes, I love Waxies food, especially their Scotch eggs.
Ooh, they have Scotch
Oh
eggs.
my God, they're so good. I wish.
I had one at the Gastro Pub.
Hang on.
Not too.
Kim, we're about to talk about eggs. You ready for this? Go ahead.
I had a Scotch egg at the Gastro Pub. Have
Oh
you ever
yeah,
been
yeah.
there?
Oh yeah, I've had theirs
Their
too.
food is really good.
Mhm. Yep.
And yeah, that Scotch egg was really nice.
Yeah, that's another local. Yeah, no, I'm a big fan, and I had some. I think it was their bangers and mash that I had too. It was really good.
Not surprising.
Here in KC, I love Black Box Coffee. There you go. Julie says, and I do love Classic Rock Coffee. Not trying to suck up. I really do. Peanut butter protein shake for the win. You know what's funny?
Okay, I'm getting ready to laugh.
I've never had their protein. Only their coffee. Because I got enough protein. All right. Doug Fuller says,
Okay.
I grew up digging Gary Newman. Can't find his albums anywhere, but his stuff is available on YouTube. Yes, but I bet you his YouTube stuff doesn't sound as good as if it was on vinyl.
Mhm.
Just saying. But Gary Newman, good stuff.
Check with Mr. Cottingham.
Jody.
Jody guy.
Uh-oh.
You're jumping around again.
I know. There we go. We should come get our Muppets vinyl. We can't wait to listen to that amazing album. I sense so much
Yeah,
sarcasm.
Yeah. Speed it up and it's
Muppet Babies. I'm telling you, man. I
Speed
want
it up and
to
it's a
play it
Chipmunk
before you
song.
leave. I
Yeah.
want to play it. Doug says many times I've driven from Joplin to Springfield to get to go Fort number 5 there in Springfield, where I buy a lot of my military collectibles. I do not know if they are still open. However, it was a great store at one time. I'm not sure, Doug, if that's the same place. I'm assuming probably not, but there was another place on West Sunshine. I can't remember if that was Ryan's Collectibles or something like that. There's some military place on West Sunshine. It was really cool. I've been in there once. Yeah. Kim says, I love what? Pagination? Is that right?
Pagination?
Pagination Bookshop, Battlefield Pharmacy, and our family loves London Calling Pasty Company as well. Yeah, good stuff. I'm not really a book person, to be honest, as you could
Reading's so
as you could
overrated.
tell. Yeah, Deborah says no. You were talking about bears and the corn, but I did live rural for 15 years, so critters are not uncommon. Yeah, totally get that. But bears are not critters. Them monsters. Stephanie says, yes, we had a whole lot of people. Great reviews. Scared the crap out of a lot of people. Made a few pee themselves or cry. Or a safe word and have to be walked out. It was a lot of fun. I've never heard of them having a safe word, but I'm ungodly interested to hear what the safe word was. Oh, shit! Let's see. Your Mama Pool's here. Favorite
Hey,
local
Mom.
business in is Stobbies?
Stobies, yeah. It was a restaurant.
And not just because Joshua worked there. Oh, do tell.
Yeah.
What it was a restaurant,
It was a restaurant.
like a mom and pop kind of.
No, it was like a local kind of chain. They had one in Conway and they had one in Russellville, but it was started out a kind of a sandwich shop and then had a grill and they did breakfasts and stuff. I normally work breakfast shifts and stuff like that. So
But you clearly didn't eat breakfast. You just made it
I made it. Yeah.
because you're not much of a breakfast guy. Got it.
I'm a protein guy. Give me some eggs and sausage.
Okay, there we go.
But no, yeah, it
Good
was
stuff.
yeah, so it's a great restaurant.
Yeah,
Mhm.
I'll check it out next time I'm down there. Speaking of which, Marcia, how's the packing and moving coming along?
What?
What?
They're moving?
What?
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 No.
Christy says Josh knows that I'm dressing up. What I'm dressing up as? What you dressing up as, Josh? Let's put him on the spot.
Oh my gosh.
This is the best.
Oh my gosh, we talked about that the other night. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Okay, so I'll have to tell you later. Yeah, I was running through our conversation. Yeah. So, yeah, that's well, I could tell it now. We were talking about her dressing up as me and me dressing up as her. So that would be hilarious, wouldn't it? Since we're about the same height.
Right. That's
Yeah.
what I was gonna say. Who needs a tailor?
I just have to put on heels to get to the top.
Oh my god, I'm so here
I
for
d-
that. What's been your favorite Halloween costume, Josh? You've ever done?
My favorite Halloween costume I've ever done. Hello. Yeah. I don't know. I never really dressed up that much for Halloween. I think it probably was the Kevin Smith one.
Yeah?
Yeah. 'Cause I looked a lot like him.
There you go.
Yeah.
Let's see here if I can. What is all this?
I don't know.
I just want.
Are you
one-
shopping online here?
Well,
What's
right,
going
sure.
on?
Why not? I just want one little window open.
What are you looking for?
Well, keep in mind what you and I are seeing. They don't
Okay.
see
Yeah.
yet. I'm looking for my favorite Halloween costume.
Okay.
It's pretty topical since it's already been discussed.
Okay.
Might take me a minute, so we'll move on. from
Okay.
that.
Let's move on. And then
Um,
you can come back to it.
There we go. Okay, so coming back over here, Abigail says, here in Columbia, I love Skylark, Yellow Dog, and Peace Nook bookshops. I've been to Peace Nook, and Lakota for tea and smoothies. Yeah. Columbia. Have you been to Columbia at all?
Yeah.
I love their
Just to
down.
play, never to shop.
Gotcha.
or
No,
hang out.
when I lived in northern Missouri, that was like the equivalence of living in Rogersville and coming to Springfield to the
Uh-huh.
mall and stuff. And so we would do that, and we would go out to the clubs and all this kind of stuff, to the bars, watch bands, drag shows, all kinds of stuff. And during the day, we would go downtown, and it is a hop and fun town. It is really, really fun. Yeah, good stuff. Lots of good local businesses there in Columbia. Jody Guy Cotton Gimp from Weed Ryan Records here. Easy for me to say. Agreed. There you go. There you go. Hey Jody, you want me to do the little? I thought I got a message from you. You want me to do the little thing? Because I'm ready for you if you're ready to do the little thing. Mike McWhorter says, look up Gary Newman and Nine Inch Nails doing Cars Life. It's killer.
Huh.
Interesting. Hey, have you got me a green replacement yet?
I do.
Oh, okay. Got it. All right. I tell you what, let's hit the pause for the cause. Take a quick commercial break. I'm going to pull up my favorite Halloween costume. We're going to continue on with your comments. and this awesome conversation. It's good stuff, good times, so stick around.
So trying to break into this scene was impossible. Renee and I
So
were,
interesting to me because it was not that way for me.
oh my God, I couldn't get an audition.
Do you think a lot of that has to do with where we're at physically, like not being St. Louis or not being Chicago or that kind of thing? Like when you were traveling to those places, weren't you in kind of some bigger hubs?
You know what? Well, that's a good question. Yes, I am not college educated, and is a burr in my side. That totally creates unity because someone will come up that's a younger musician or whatever, etc., and there will be a connecting point there. And then what will happen? Hey, when's your next show? I want to come out and see the show. Yeah, so you do know me too well, and this is against me in this deal because you're hitting all the pain points. If you do it the right way, you know, you leave a little bit of change.
I have just one question. Have you thought about being a guest on the show? We are currently seeking lovers of all kinds to join in on our fun. If you're interested in being a guest, or if you just have questions, comments, or suggestions, you can message us on Facebook or email us at theaudioroastpodcast@gmail.com. You can also submit any topics you'd like to hear discussed.
Oh, wrong button. There we go. So I found my Halloween pictures. I'm uploading them as we speak. Josh is downstairs. Jody, curious why you got the mad face, bruh. What up with that? Let's see here. Let me finish this, and then I'm going to send Jody the thing to do the thing. So hopefully he's prepared for the thing so that we could do it. 3 more pictures to upload. That one. I think this has been my favorite Halloween, the one I'm going to show you, because it's the one that we put the most work into. And that's always the way it is. I found the same with playing music. The projects that I put the most into, I've gotten the most out of. And that's the same with anybody for anything, I would imagine. So, don't be half-assing anything. Let's do it. All right. Let's get this over here for Jody. Copy that. Get out of that. Welcome back, Josh. Welcome back. Sorry, I'm trying to do all this stuff and I ran out of time. All right. Oh, if this computer would work, that'd be great.
That's always helpful when you're doing a podcast.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Especially live.
Mm-hmm.
People love watching me struggle. All right. So before we carry on, now that Josh is back, Josh has got a sweet treat for us here to try live here on the show. So Josh, I'm going to switch this over to you. And
Okay.
You tell the folks what we got ourselves into here.
So found these.
Well, yeah.
They're Brock's candy corn, but they're seasonal.
Oh boy.
And I don't know if this is just kind of something they did on a dare, but it's their Thanksgiving flavor
How
because it's
dare
getting
they?
close to the season. And we have green bean flavored. See, Brock's candy corn.
Oh my
Can you see
God.
that?
Green bean flavored candy
Yeah,
corn.
Green
You've got
beans,
to be joking.
roasted turkey, cranberry sauce, stuffing, apple pie, and coffee.
Oh, there's the coffee one.
There's a coffee one. I think
Oh,
it's
this
a
will
little
be probably the
little
small one.
black one there.
Yeah,
Or-
well, it's brown is all
brown.
good out, but yeah.
Yeah. So what shall we try first? Green bean?
Well, okay, so I'm sorry. Say them again.
Green bean, cranberry sauce, stuffing, roast turkey, and apple pie and coffee.
Okay, so we got to do coffee last.
Okay, so the green's probably the green bean.
Yep. We've got to do. Let me split this up here. So coffee last.
Okay,
We've got to do the apple pie second to last.
right. I'm
You
not
think-
real sure which one the apple pie is. I'm assuming it might be this one. I'm not sure.
They all smell the same.
They all smell the same. I tried.
Which one do you think? Is it on the back of the bag?
It isn't.
Oh,
It doesn't say
gosh.
what it is on the back of the bag. See, I'm thinking either
How
apple
are we
pie.
supposed to know which one is apple pie and which one is
Well, I'm
stuffing? I would
I-
say this is stuffing and this is apple pie.
maybe, or this could, well, maybe this is the roast turkey, the dark and the.
I think that's the roast
You
turkey.
think that's a roast turkey? Okay.
Probably so. I just heard
Okay.
our person join us. This has obviously got to be cranberry sauce
Yeah.
and green beans and peas or something.
Green bean.
Green bean.
Okay. Yeah. Let's say that's green bean, roast turkey.
Okay.
Stuffing,
I can't believe we're gonna have
cranberry,
Can't believe this is candy.
apple pie, and coffee.
Wow.
What do you think? Green bean?
No, I gotta ease into things. Let's try the cranberry because at least
Okay.
it's fruit flavored.
Okay.
So we stand a chance here with something. Whoops. Okay, so let's go ahead and try this, and then we'll bring on our special guest. So here we go with the cranberry relish. Is that what it is?
Cranberry dressing.
Dressing. Tastes like wax to me.
Yeah.
I
I can say that's
candy
very
corn.
cranberry-ish.
Better know how much I love you, Josh. I hate candy corn. It's the trashiest trash there is.
Well, I can't make it easy on you.
Right. I'd rather have a brown sugar cinnamon Pop Tart. I
It's
didn't.
not
I mean, I got a
horrible.
little itty bitty bit of cranberry ish.
It's kind of fruity.
It tastes like fake cranberry.
That's
I taste wax more than I taste fruit.
mhm.
All right,
Green bean.
green bean. If this doesn't get us all the views, I don't know what will.
No.
If I was blindfolded and you were giving me these, I wouldn't be able to name anything so far.
Nope.
It literally just tastes like waxy something.
Sweet wax.
Yeah. That was my stage name back in the day.
Mine too.
Oh. You're the one I took it from. All
You
right, so
did.
are we on to the main course yet? Is it what this is?
I think so.
This is what, roast beef?
No, turkey.
Turkey. Okay.
Thanksgiving, dude. Come
Oh,
on.
you know.
Do you have roast? That's coffee. What? No, wait a second.
That's coffee. That's coffee. That's actually, I can taste that one.
Yeah.
Pretty good. No, especially on the back end, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It
Wow.
comes up on the palate a little bit.
Big time.
Mhm.
I'm tasting a whole lot less wax and a lot more coffee.
Yeah.
Nice. All right. Well, I'm not scared of that one.
Okay.
I really wish this was more like Willy Wonka, where it was like, bam, right in your
Yeah.
face. And it's like, oh, that tastes just like it. And this is like, no, it doesn't. All right. We're on whatever this might be. Stuffing, I would imagine.
Yep.
Oh. That was terrible. Josh, how could you?
That's got a very
Vile.
sage flavor to it.
Is that what that is?
Mm-hmm.
Oh my God, it's terrible. Ugh.
All right.
Please, dear God, be apple pie. Nope, that's
That's
stuffing.
turkey. That's stuffing.
It might be turkey.
I think it's turkey.
It's
Yep.
hard for me because I put gravy on everything at Thanksgiving. So that one tastes like Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
But I don't like it in a candy corn.
Nope. Not great.
Yeah, I think that might be stuffing. Because I taste like the stuffing seasonings
know.
in that. But it is kind of like rosemary or something. Why is there rosemary flavored freaking candy corn? I don't know either. Right, so now we're on to the small brown one. Smell like wax?
Yeah.
All right. Ugh. Maybe that's the stuffing. It's a lot like the last one, except for way more of a faint taste.
Yeah.
Flavor.
I don't know, man. There.
Ugh.
Maybe that's gravy.
Candy corn gravy. Yay.
Yeah.
All right. Enough of that
Yeah, that's-
nonsense.
yeah.
That was. Ugh. Next time you bring something to eat, make it good.
Okay.
Give us some sausage and eggs.
Well, there's no
for crying
comedy
out
in
loud.
that.
Well, I mean, maybe not. All right. Now then, got all that funness out of the way. Let's go ahead and bring on, you know him from Rewind Records and Papa Green Shoes. Let's welcome to the show our dear friend and special guest, Mr. Jody Guy Cottongim, with a special something for you. Well,
Hey,
hello,
Jody.
hello.
Hello.
How's it
You
going there,
guys were
Governor?
it was good. You guys went and
Good.
started eating wax, so I just went and got dinner.
I love it. You're on it.
Sweet
I'm telling you,
wax.
Jody,
That
you
might
need
be
this
a
now. So next time-
sweet wax
next time-
might be a new branch.
Next time, I'm just going to start eating this.
Sweet
Call it a
wax.
day.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wax platters. Those are what you
Yeah.
call. Yeah.
Oh, my goodness.
Sweet
Jody,
Wax
how's your
Records.
Sunday going?
Sunday is good. Sunday is good. Super busy weekend.
Yeah, it's been you've
Played
been
twice
going
yesterday.
through a whirlwind, huh?
Yeah, we did, and just kind of got out of it today. So I'm hanging out in the record room at the house and watching the audio roast. And
Nice.
thanks for inviting me up.
Absolutely, man. Absolutely. We always enjoy having you pop in on occasion, and I hear that you might have a little something for some people.
Jared, tell me what it is again.
We're doing a giveaway.
So I asked a question earlier about Chet Atkins, right?
Okay.
Give me 1 second.
All right. We'll give you all the time you need. Looks like your video might be frozen, so that's always interesting too. See if I can.
Ready for this?
Maybe. Oh God, I almost hit the wrong button.
What's happening?
I don't know. It's frozen on your end. Looks like I can see us moving.
That's probably a good thing.
Oh, okay. So pretend it's radio and describe what we might be seeing. Maybe the folks at home could see. Oh, there we go. Up. I see some records.
You see this box of records?
Yep.
Every one of those is a Chet Atkins album.
Are you serious?
Holy cow.
There's like 45 of them. What we did early was start collecting Chet Atkins albums because it seems like he's like this guitar player fella that all the guitar player fellas just love. Next thing you know, we've got a giant box of them. So what I want to do is I want to give away 5 Chet Atkins albums. Do what you want to.
You're giving away 5 of them?
That's what he
You're
said.
breaking up on this end too.
Oh boy, this will make it entertaining. All right,
Sounds
so
like
here's
dial up.
right. Basically, well, I mean, aren't you in dial-up country? Yep, there's the answer to your
Yep,
question.
We're spinning.
Oh, gotta love it. Okay, so we'll go ahead and get things started on our end. So for everybody watching along right now, you have I hope I'm not misquoting this. I hope I heard this right. He's giving away not 1, not 2, but 5 albums on this week's giveaway. Holy guacamole. So let's go ahead and use the word Papa. Don't need a hashtag, don't need anything. Just make it all capital letters like that. And that'll enter you in to win 5 albums from Rewind Records. Now then, let's jump back over here. So
Okay.
Josh, let's try to keep an idea of where we stopped, which
I think was the 9 Inch Nails comment was probably one of the last ones.
oh Lord, there it went.
Yeah.
Okay, I remember seeing that.
Yeah, I don't think
I
we
think
did
that's
the
I think that's it
Abigail's.
right there.
Yep.
Okay.
I think the next
Mike McWhorter. So we'll scroll back down here. Looks like we've got Stephanie and Julia, Kim. Good stuff. Julia says, "Give me that Chester and Lester album." There you go. Anybody else? Hey, here's the deal. If you want to enter this and you're like, yeah, it'd be cool to win something, but I don't have a way to play a vinyl record, go ahead and do it. Because if you get enough of these, you're going to be like, you know what? I'm just going to go ahead and get that record player now.
Yeah, and where can you get a record player?
You can get it at Rewind Records. They will hook you up.
I'm sure they would sell you one.
For sure. And if they don't have any in stock, they'll know when to get it and where to get it, and they'll get you a good deal on it. So shop local, shop smart, easy for me to say, and shop with Rewind Records. So looks like we've got a couple people. Let's get some more. We got a lot of people watching, so let's get some more of you guys in on that Papa. Let me get the... There we go. Papa. What's your favorite song that says Papa in the words? Let's play some song association.
Papa don't preach.
I don't know.
Yeah. That's just the first thing that comes to mind.
There you go. I don't have a song. I have of course, the Mamas and the Papas is what comes to my mind. Papa. Yeah, Papa Don't Preach is like the only one that I know that uses the actual word Papa.
Papa,
Oh,
can
wait,
you
no.
hear me?
I love it when you call me Big Papa.
Oh, yeah.
Showstopper. Yeah, there you go. That's mine. Let's see here.
Papa, can you hear me from Yentl? No?
What?
From Yentl? Papa, can you hear me? No?
From Mental?
Yentl. Yentl.
Like, as in Yentl salad?
No, that's lentil.
All right. Well, you know.
Yentl was a Barbra Streisand movie.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
Musical.
Gotcha. I wanted to jump back up here real quick. I might have passed it. There we go. Lisa says, we should come get our Muppets. Oh, we already got that one. Cool. Yes, you should. Still not far enough down. If I go too far, Josh, no, there we go.
Yeah, that's where we were.
Right there. Okay, so Abigail says, I also feel like I should mention Peggy Jean's Pies because I work there. Yes. It's awesome of you, Abigail, to be working at a local.
Awesome. I can come and bother her at her work.
Yeah.
Now
Might
that
be
I
a
know where she
little might be a
works.
little road trip, but it would be worth it. Some of the stuff that Abigail has posted on her page from that shop looks really good. So check it out. If you're up in the Columbia area. Jody says, rewind question. Who loves Chet Atkins? Guitar player and lovers of guitar? Please yell out. Or better yet, just type Papa in all green and all capital
And all
letters.
green shoes.
Exactly. Mike Recorder says, watching Chet and Jerry Reed blows my mind, man. Julie says, love Chet Atkins. I love the album he did with Les Paul, Chester, and Lester. Deb says, Joshua is going to be Dr. Frankenfurter? Question mark.
Hello, I see you've met my
I've been Rocky before.
faithful
Now I'm-
handyman. He's just brought down because when you came around, he thought you were the candy man. Well, don't get strung out by the way that I look. Sorry.
No, you're fine. You sound a little bit more like Cher than by the way I look.
Well, he
If
sounded
I
kind of
could
like sharing
turn
that.
back time. Yeah. No, I was Rocky once for Halloween,
Were
but
you?
I'm way too old and fat now. I can't do it. But I used to could. Let's see. Christy
Were you
says,
the man on the slab?
right. My personal favorite I dressed up as was Drop Dead Fred. There you go. Pagination. Why can I not say that word? Is on my bookstore bucket list. Wow, that's cool. Follow them on Instagram, and it's gorgeous. Jody says, only one, W. That's right.
Mm.
If you know, you know, which I know. Doug says, guys, I love your show, but the wife is home now. The youngest daughter is gone for the evening, and she's dropping some pretty heavy hints. Think I better go do my husbandly duties. Well, show. Oh my God, I'll go there. Show them why you're a Kiss fan, Doug. Come on. Marcia Poole says, getting the house ready to sell. When you come to Russellville, we will take you to eat at Stobby's. By the way, Stobies. By the way, Joshua once dressed up as a hefty bag for Halloween. Oh, really?
Yeah. Didn't have anything else to wear.
Same, but it was a Tuesday.
Yeah.
I was just going to school. Kim says, Abigail Burbridge, they are fantastic. Jody says, what? I'm not mad. I just fat fingered. Yeah, I figured. I told you. Abigail says, I don't even like regular candy corn. Same. It was awful.
It wasn't great.
Candy corn is like chewing on a crown. Yes. Only worse. Didn't we all get into a fight over candy corn last time we were at grandma's? Yeah, except for she mixed it with some peanuts, which at least when you grabbed a handful, you could pick out the candy corn and still eat something. But yes, that's true. Sweet Wax, next great cover band. I think that's the writing's on the wall. Yeah. Brian says, sorry, I'm late. That's all right. Okay, so we got some people with Papa. Let's get that going here on the old giveaway. I need to.
I got Julia lay down already.
Okay. For
Papa.
Oh, we're gonna do the whole doodad.
Oh, okay.
If I can get it going here.
Well, there's 5 of them. We're giving away 5 different people, or is one person going to get 5 records?
Oh. We'll give away 1 for right now.
Okay.
Yep, we'll give away 1. You think, or should we just give them all away to one person?
I don't know.
I think we should give them all away to one person.
Yeah.
I mean, let's play
Hey,
the odds.
This is a capitalist society. None of that commie stuff here.
I mean, we are talking about shopping local after all.
That's right.
Yes. So
This ain't share the wealth. This is
what's mine is mine,
eat
and
or
what's
be
yours is
eaten.
mine. All right, so we'll go ahead and get this going here. Let's see if I can hit all the right buttons, which I probably cannot. Okay. If what I'm seeing on here looks like that, then that should be right. I think. I don't know. I can't tell what you all see. Hard to tell. So here we go. We're going to draw. We've got 6 entries so far. So we'll give you another 30 seconds to use the word Papa in all capital letters, just like you see on your screen, hopefully. And we'll go from there. You know what I could do is, pull it up on my phone, and then I could see what we look like. Yes, Jody said we are giving away 5 Chet albums away this week. 1 winner, 5 albums. Sorry for the inconvenience. So sorry. See everyone on Thursday and at Rewind Records near you. Keep listening to good music. Perfect. Yeah, that's what I want. Okay, so am I pointing the right way? I think I am.
I don't know. You're not pointing yet.
Oh, okay. Well, let me stick to one direction.
No, you're pointing the wrong way.
Okay, right over here on Papa. If you guys only could see what we could see,
Yeah.
you'd be equally as confused. So here we go. We've got several entries. We're gonna go ahead and hit the draw button, and it's gonna draw a winner for us. So, drum roll, please. Somewhere I had a drum.
Hey, Stephanie Norton. You get 5 Chet Atkins albums.
Good stuff. Way to go, Stephanie. Talk about a win-win. All right, let's go back to, we'll go to the split. There we go. Hopefully, maybe.
No, it looks full to me.
There
we are.
Good stuff. Good job, Stephanie. Congratulations for being the winner of the giveaway, courtesy of Rewind Records. Good stuff. Good stuff. All right. So we will get you all that. Actually, I'll probably see Jody this week, and we'll have all that here at the studio. So sometime next week, perhaps, or the week after, feel free to stop by and collect your goods, because we're getting quite a collection over here. Just saying. All right. Let me jump back up to where we left off in the comments.
I think it was me being a hefty bag or something.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. A little bit. Oh, we were talking about candy corn stuff. No problem. So there's all of the entries.
Oh,
Julia
yeah.
says, "Give me that Chester and Lester album." Papa's got a brand new bag. Oh yeah, of course. Duh. That's a good
Yeah.
Papa song, and it was already mentioned earlier, and I still didn't think of it. Legit question from Mike McWhorter: how long do you guys think the record fad will last? You know, I'll be honest. I think it's actually going to last longer than what you might anticipate. I don't know that it's I mean, I get the word fad. I get that. I think it's just not so much a fad, but a niche. In the sense of there's a certain generation that misses being able to buy something physical and aren't ready to do the whole digital only thing, or they've been doing the digital only thing for a while, and they're like, man, you remember when you used to like have something in your hand or flip through a CD booklet or thumb through the vinyls and stuff? I feel like that's not going away. You know, there's certain people that are like, no, I'm glad I don't have to carry all that crap around anymore. It's all just right here at the end of my fingertips, and it's no big deal. And I don't know that it's a fad. I think it's going to stick around for a while. I really do.
Yeah.
What do you think, Josh?
Well, I don't know. There are new releases being released on vinyl even today.
Yeah, even
So-
locally.
Yeah. So it's hard to gauge whether or not the younger kids are gonna. That's a CD. That's not a record. CD are the small things. Yeah, look at that. That's gorgeous.
Yeah, so it's a
Yeah.
record.
So whether or not it's a fad for the kids, it's like any type of collector's thing. I mean, people don't really, there's not like a younger group of people that collect coins, you know, but the people who collect are a community that collects. So I think it may be a fad for younger listeners, younger kids, but as far as the collection community, I think they will probably have to die out for it to die out. You know what I'm saying?
yes,
I don't want to sound morbid, but I think
I agree.
it's one of those things, you know.
I totally agree. Here's something that you won't see with digital, that you will see with other. If I can get this going here. Vinyl. Not vinyl. There's right over here is the Sister Lucille vinyl.
Mhm.
DJP vinyl. More DJP vinyl. You can't see through the. I can't. My camera won't read. Dang it.
You want me to bring Dio over?
That's vinyl. We've got vinyl sprinkled all over the place around here. Oh God, look at the inception happening. Whoa. There's vinyl down there, Muppet Babies. Josh had some vinyl floating around over in
Yeah,
his
I took
area.
those home already.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Let's make sure that's working right.
There's your stuff.
Okay, there we go. Got that all in my system. It's been a minute.
Mhm.
All right. Yes. So, where were we? I don't know.
Yeah, is it gonna last? So
Right.
I think there will always be a group that want to collect, just like there's always going to be people who collect baseball cards or do any type of collection
Right.
type of thing.
Yeah.
Now,
Now, do I think it'll be a big
growing-
peak like
yeah.
what it is right now?
Mhm.
No. The same as baseball cards. Baseball
Right.
cards were big in the 80s and 90s when I was a kid. You don't really hear people talking about baseball cards really anymore.
Right.
But that's not to say it's not still a thing with a very huge audience, because
Right.
it is. It's just not me.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And the thing that records have going for them is that it's music that you can't find anywhere else, like stuff that's not even being uploaded on to like YouTube. That's the appeal of finding records, because
Well-
that's like maybe the only medium that music exists in.
True. And you're not going to have digital remasters, meaning like if they drop an F-bomb, or if there's some controversial thing, it's not going to be bleeped or edited out. It's there. It's
Yeah.
raw. The other thing that's nice about it is the quality. It's anything else that's been phased out has been phased out for a reason. Think cassette tapes. I know it's nostalgic and it seems like a cool thing, but it's a pain in the ass to be playing your cassette tape and then want to skip a song and go to this, or you're like, oh, there's this one drum part, Josh, I want to show you this, and you have to like thumb through and find, versus like
Right.
just pull it up and it's about 2 minutes in, no big deal. So I don't think that cassette tapes are going to have as big of a appeal as vinyls will, because vinyls offer something that cassettes don't, meaning the quality of the recording, the sound, the richness, the tone, the warmth. Cassette tapes are just like, it's cool. I had it as a kid.
Cassette tapes do have a great analog sound to them.
I'm not saying
less
they don't
crackling,
sound good. I'm saying
but
they're
they're more-
harder to navigate.
But when a cassette tape goes, it goes.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. If your tape player decides to get hungry and eat it up,
Yeah.
it is what it is.
Yeah.
Yeah. So overall, I don't think it's gonna go anywhere. It might decrease a little bit in the fadness of it, if you will. But it is not going anywhere.
No.
Jody would be the first one to tell you he has no problem finding vinyls, and it's not because people are wanting to get rid of them. It's because they're everywhere.
Right.
So yeah. All right. Good question though, Mike. Brian says, love it when you call me Big Papa. Yeah, Notorious B.I.G. Lisa says, oh my God, Joshua and I are both brain connected tonight. I'm scared. Speaking of Lisa Betancourt and brain connected, I don't know, I got nothing on that. So here is from my favorite Halloween. The first salon, for those of you who don't know, I used to cut hair back in the day for a long time. And back in, I think, 2007 or 8, we did a whole Sweeney Todd Halloween theme for the whole salon, where for 2 months prior, one of my coworkers and I made our outfits handmade, like with a sewing machine and the whole thing.
So did you make them?
Yeah.
You made them?
Yeah.
By hand?
Yes.
Really?
Yes. Now there were some thrift shop finds and stuff like that we would like take and
But
alter and that kind of stuff.
But you made them by hand?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, by hand and
Yeah,
by sewing.
we handmade them.
Oh God, what is this? By hand and by sewing machine.
Right.
I mean, yeah, but yeah, but not just our costumes for everybody in the salon. Everybody was a different character. So let's see if I can pull these up here. These are the right ones. Okay, so there was our receptionist. That's Toby.
Okay.
That's who she was dressed up as. So like we did a label on a bottle for it and the whole thing. It's hard to tell in this picture, but it's pretty cool.
Yeah.
All black, but it's pretty cool. This is me as Sweeney and my friend Reagan, who was the girl that did that made the costumes. We made those together.
Did she make the worst pies in England?
No, she made the best pies in England. Oddly enough, the salon that we worked at was Mojo Pie.
Really?
Yeah. So, and if you've ever been there, it's a very cool set.
I know where it's at. Yeah.
So on the inside, it looks a lot similar ish to the same vibe as Sweeney Todd. Like it had the big
like
slanted
old wood.
Yeah.
and-
Yep. So it was a perfect thing. So then here is the judge.
Oh, nice.
Yep. Steve was our Steve Hilgrafe was our coworker there. So yeah, a lot of stuff. This one was Mr. Pirelli. So this is a blue suit, and we did all the gold detailing stuff. I did all this.
And this is all based off the movie.
Oh yeah, yeah. The movie came out in 2007, so this was that Halloween or the Halloween after, one of the two. But yeah, it was huge. And so here we go, Miss Lovett. There's her outfit she made. Good stuff. Here she is again.
Nice.
This is a picture from based on whenever they're by the sea.
Mhm.
And he just looks very unthrilled with her daydream.
That's not you. There's no mustache.
I know, right? Weird. There's a remake of a scene from the movie. Cool shot of her on the balcony. Us backstage, if you will. And
Behind the scenes,
there's the money shot. And yeah, there you go. My favorite Halloween. Sweeney Todd, 2007 or 8, something like that. I'll never top that. We put so much, when you put in over 2 months of work making costumes, not just for yourself but other people.
Mhm.
I mean, you're never going to top that. It's going to be your favorite. So yeah. Let's see here. Mike says, "Papa Don't Take No Mess" by James Brown. James Brown.
He
Brown.
had a lot of Papa songs.
He did. Papa was Rolling Stone. Oh, that's a good
Papa
one.
was a Rolling Stone.
Jody says one person. Papa. There we go. Steven says, "Papa looks like a lady." All right. Well, there you go.
But that was dude looked like a lady.
Yeah, for real. Late, but had to bathe the dog. Well, there you go.
Yeah.
I'm sure he's grateful for that. Or she, they, it. Stephanie says, "Yay!" There you go. Stephanie wins. Woo.
Mhm.
Steven says, "Such better sound quality." Yes, that's very true. Mike says, last time I was at a coin store. He said the art was dying, that the store no longer is in business.
Yeah.
And there you go. He didn't know what he's talking about. Simple answer: until you can't find it on the planet. There you go.
Yeah.
Preach, Joshua. Preach. Mike says cassettes wear out and records skip. Both suck for that. You're not wrong. You're not wrong. But you know what skips worse than a record? A CD. You know what skips worse than a CD?
An elementary girl.
Nailed it. Brian says, "Nice, cool, wow, awesome." What are all these? What are they, adjectives?
Yeah.
You know, English and stuff. Great job. Looks amazing. Oh,
Your pictures.
Well, thanks. Thank you. Yeah, my brain is not connected. Gonna get yourself connected. The writing's on the wall. I'm gonna take a little break. Gonna get me some drinking after all. I don't know. That's all I got. Yeah, I'm all out of coffee and I need some more. Ha! So we're gonna take a quick break, come back and do some more. Stick around.
Classic Rock Coffee. Our coffee rocks.
Hey everybody, this is Jody with Rewind Records, and it's been a busy week. This week I just wanted to kind of stop, drop, and roll. I wanted to say a bunch of thank yous. Thank you to you for coming to Rewind Records and accepting us as a new business and a good way to give you some music. But this upcoming week is the last Thursday that we're going to play at the Riff, just for Thursdays. The band's still together and everything's still rocking and popping, and Jared's taking care of business. But I wanted to simply say thanks. One, for Jared. We're leaving it in good hands. Two, thank you very much to Kent and his whole family for letting us do whatever we wanted to in here for 5 years. And thank you very much to all the fans that came I mean, I've been told many, many times you can't do this, and you did this. I just show up and play drums and sing. So thank you very much. Keep shopping for good music. If you can't find what you're looking for where you're at, come to Rewind Records in Springfield or in Marshfield. But no matter what, keep listening to good music. I just want to thank you once again. And if you have the chance to come to Springfield to RC Flea Mart over on Kearney Street, come on. And if you have the chance to come to Marshfield, Missouri at Unique Antiques and Collectibles over on Spur Drive, come check out both of the booths. I do thank you very much, and I will talk to you soon. Keep listening to good music.
There we go. All right. Got my coffee. Hope you got something good to drink as well. Now then, let's carry on. I wanted to get to some questions that were submitted on our Facebook page and in Messenger and all over the place. Let's see here. We've got, well, somewhere around here I had some stuff saved. I was supposed to have written this down before the show. In full disclosure, I had zero time. So let's see here. We had okay, so Cindy Lucas asked Joshua Poole, who is your favorite bassist that inspires you? Do you have a favorite song to play at a show or at home? Let's get Josh in on this conversation.
Bassists. There's a couple that I really like. A guy named, of course, everybody likes Vic Wooten. Locally, probably Sean Monday is just incredible.
He's a beast.
Yeah.
I'd like to have him on the show someday. I have actually reached out to him, but I don't think he's much on the Facebook. So,
no.
If anybody knows a way to get a hold of him, tell him I want him on the show.
But as far as like studio players and musicians, I've got to say that probably my favorite bass player is a guy named Jimmy Lee Sloas. And
easy for you to say.
Yeah. Yeah. Just because he's a studio player and he's played with everybody. I mean, he's on Garth Brooks albums. He's on a bunch of Christian albums that I liked. His band Dogs of Peace was amazing. And his tone and his approach. He's not a flash player, but he's always right in the pocket. He actually played with Megadeth for a while.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he's an incredible bass player, tone, and he really inspires me to just his lyrical lines on the bass. And what was some of the other questions?
What's your favorite song to play on stage or at home?
On stage, probably Purple Rain when I was in What's Next.
Okay.
That band had an amazing lineup as far as players, and we kept the same lineup for the entire run of the band. Our lead singer Cham had an incredible voice, and every time we played Purple Rain, it was about as close to a religious experience that I got outside of church. It was Paul playing those leads, and it was just automatic. You didn't have to think about playing it, and that the audience was into it and we were into it. And I've always told Cham that if I could play one last song before I die, it would be that song with that lineup of people.
Right.
It was probably one of the most meaningful songs I've ever played with that group.
I would have to think about who my favorite bass player would be.
Well, it's not your question.
Well, I know, but I'm answering it anyway because it's my show. I would have to go. Let's see if you recognize this gentleman.
He's great too.
Insane.
Leland Sklar.
Yeah, insane, man. There's a reason he's been in so many of the top bands around the world.
He's not flash either,
no,
but he is
Toto, Genesis,
right
Phil
on.
Collins. I mean, that guy is resume is insane.
Yeah, he's played with everybody.
Yeah. Yeah, he's just fantastic. You know what else is fantastic?
Who? Kevin Smith?
Who dat?
That's Kevin Smith. That's me. That's my Kevin Smith outfit.
Oh, it's great stuff, man.
Yeah.
What year was this, by the way?
That was probably about maybe 4 years ago, 3 years ago.
Nice. Dig it.
Yeah.
Was this for a show?
Yeah.
Yeah.
At Archie's
Very
with
cool.
Chaos Theory.
Nice. Very cool. Very cool. I dig it. I dig it a
Our
lot.
drummer was a hot dog. He was.
I mean, of course, aren't all drummers hot dogs?
Of course, yeah.
Yeah. Mike says, "Oh, come on now. CDs don't skip like a record unless you abuse them or have a crappy CD player." Well, tell that to the 14-year-old Jared that used to try and use a CD, not a Walkman, a Discman, and ride a bicycle at the same time. Didn't work too well. And when they came out with the anti-skip protection, whatever, I was like, "Oh, cool!" And then it didn't work at all. Yeah. Mike says Derek Smalls is a major unsung talent when it comes to bass players.
He is.
I don't know that.
He's the bass player for Spinal Tap.
There you go. There you go. There you go. Lisa says, okay, now that we've seen you as Sweeney, I expect to sing Pretty Woman from the show. Pretty Women. It's not my favorite. I'd rather sing
Walking
Joanna.
down the street.
What?
Walking down the street,
Wrong.
pretty women.
They kind of like to eat.
I think that's ripped off.
Pretty Woman. I love meat pies.
Yes.
Oh, yes, I do.
Sondheim was a hack on that one.
Right. Oh, I like it. Yeah, we should do Sweeney Todd, but as Roy Orbison.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm so down for that. You have no idea. Oh man, good stuff. All right, back to the questions. Let's see if I can pull these up in any kind of a timely fashion. Trying to remember which ones these were on. Let me switch over to my profile and see if it's on the thing I shared there.
Les Claypool. Yeah.
Oh, I'm not a big Wes Claypool fan. It's way too out there. Not.
Yeah, he's got good talent and he has outside the box thinking.
It's yes, but it's too much of that.
Yeah, but there's no hook to what he does.
Right. Yep. Exactly. Yeah, I could have swore I shared that.
You did, I think.
Oh, there it is. Okay, there we go. Deborah Klein says, when is the next live show and can we karaoke again? I'll answer that in reverse. Yes. And Josh, when is our next live show?
We haven't got it set up yet.
There you go. There's your answer.
Yeah, what do we want to do for a live show?
And that's it.
Yeah.
Like, let's talk about it for a minute.
Charlie
Obviously, I
Brown
don't want to do
Thanksgiving?
prom again. That was a flop.
Charlie Brown Thanksgiving. We'll do it in November.
Let's see here. I don't even know what day of the week it is. This is
It's
10-10.
Sunday. 10-10.
So yeah, we might be able to do something in Thanksgiving. I think Christmas might be pushing it too much. I know a lot of people have a lot of family stuff, myself included, at Christmas. So yeah, maybe we could do some kind of Thanksgiving thing. Do we want to do like a meal?
I don't know.
Or
Do
a potluck?
That'd be cool. Yeah.
That'd be cool. I'd be down with that.
But not like a pot luck.
Right. Not that kind of party.
Unadulterated covered dishes.
Right. Yeah. Brian with a good suggestion. He says, I think you should explore different alcoholic coffee drinks for the show. Yeah, I'm so down for that. You have no idea. We might even have to talk to Amy Oberbeck and see what she's got up her sleeve as far as coffee
Alcohol?
drinks.
Yeah.
But then we'll have to keep it on the down low. See,
Yeah, because last time
last time was nuts.
we spread the word a little bit and it got a little out of control.
Oh my God. I thought somebody put a neon sign out in the front. That was crazy.
Get drunk at the audio roast.
Right. Yeah. Come on up. Free booze. So stay tuned. I would imagine within the next month, maybe two, probably not, probably in November. And I'll tell you this, it'll be on a Sunday. We'll keep it on a Sunday. We tried changing the day of the week to see how it would go. And I think it's just going to be better. We're a Sunday show, so let's keep it on Sunday. Okay, here we go. Lisa
Okay.
Betancourt. Can we seriously discuss how the bands need to be changing up the repertoire from week to week, especially if they're going to be playing weekly. I feel like sometimes we're getting into a rut around here. Believe me, I know you're shocked. I have a serious question. First of all, I'm not shocked. I love the question.
It's a great question.
And Josh goes, before we went live, he said, okay, well, let me tell you about this. I'm like, no. Don't tell me anything. Shush. So I have not discussed anything with you. You've not discussed anything with me. 3, 2, 1, go.
Okay, so difficulty of well, first of all, and I will talk about experience when Jared and I were going to try to be in a band together.
Yep.
Getting a band off the ground is extremely difficult.
Yeah. So let's slow down then and let me get back in here. Let's talk about why that is.
Yes.
From my experience, a lot of that has to do with how much invested or investment people have in that. Like,
right.
The project that you and I are talking about, I was invested a lot in. I was like, no, I've been wanting to do this for a long, long time. And I've got the right couple people involved, and we just need a little dash of this and a little dash of that, and we're good to go. Where you were like, I'm kind of looking to play a little bit. You're still doing the chaos area thing. So your investment level probably wasn't the same as us.
Right.
And if that's not the case for you specifically, I'm sure you've been in similar situations.
Right. And to speak to that, it wasn't.
He hated my guts, y'all.
Yeah, I did. I'd rather just do a podcast with you than actually have to be on stage with you.
Exactly.
No, really what it is that one band is hard enough to be a part of. Being in more than one band, you're gonna, first of all, you have to have a solid 4 hours of music. That's just a given. And if it's stuff that you've never played before, or you're having to learn new stuff, that takes a lot of time to invest. One, just personally to learn the stuff.
Right.
2, to get guys who are invested and have the time to get together.
Right.
With that.
And the ability to do homework at home and show up prepared.
Absolutely. Yeah. And 3, most musicians here that I know of, except for like maybe 1 or 2, have day jobs.
Right.
And part of what was going on in my life at that time was there was a lot going on with my day job.
Right. Timing is everything.
And our text threads, it's like, guys, I can't do this. It'd be you, or it would be Richard, or it'd be someone would have to bow out. And so you go month to month of not having to be able to practice with the guys. And that also affects your commitment level. It's like, oh, gosh, we just can't get together, and you get discouraged.
Yep.
So if you do get to a place to where you can have a band that is actually got those 4 hours of music ready to go, then adding more songs requires more time, more practice, and it's just easier for bands to have a repertoire that they know. And that's kind of why a lot of bands play the same material, is because everybody learns the stuff that works, and they can go to a new band without having to learn new stuff. They can just jump in and play Living on a Prayer or Hot Blooded or something like that, because everybody's played those. What do you think? Nope.
Disagree.
You disagree?
Nobody. I'm so tired of hearing all the bands play the same crap over and over. I could care less if you know how to play that song. If we play that song, that tells me I probably shouldn't be playing that song.
Right.
I do understand what you're saying, though.
Right. I'm not making excuses. I'm saying
I know
that's
you're not.
the reality
And here's the deal.
of it.
Exactly. The reality is we've got a lot of musicians and a lot of super talented, but there's still only so many to choose from. Look at the guests I've had on the show. We've been able to have such an array of awesome people, but I can only keep going to the well for the first time for so long before we run out and have to, okay, now we're gonna have so and so back on. It's the same thing. So if you're able to get somebody, it's easier to put something together if there's already training wheels on the project, basically, is what you're saying.
Yeah.
Now to go back to what Lisa was saying about if you're playing weekly or often to change it up. I can't tell you how strongly I agree with that, especially if you're charging people money.
Absolutely.
And I think it's, I'll be honest, I think it's lazy. If you're like, well, we play out all the time and we don't need to practice, or we don't have time to learn new songs because we're playing so much. Okay, well then reformulate. I think as musicians, it's too easy to get comfortable. You should always be pushing yourselves to get better. Not get better at playing "Don't Stop Believin'," but get better at playing "Stone in Love" or some other song. I guess is really what I'm saying. But I think too, you owe it to yourself, but you owe it to your fan base to change things up. However, marketing. If you're an 80s band and if you're Machine Gun Symphony, you're not going to want to be like, okay, well, yeah, we've played all these 80s hits and we owe it to our audience to play something different. Well, how much more 80s stuff is there to be able to play that fits in with their theme, their feel, their vibe, without being repetitive? I mean, it just is what it is. It's just the same as musicians, same as with songs. You can only go to the well so many times. That being said, I think people go to the same well too often. If I have to hear Highway to Hell, or if I have to hear Don't Stop Believin' or whatever by 6 other bands, even Purple Rain, one more time, I'm like, God, there's so many other songs by this artist. And you guys do, what's the other Prince song you guys do?
Darling Nikki.
And I'm like, perfect. Nobody else is doing that.
Right.
Perfect. A great artist. It deserves to be played. Song that's great, needs to be played. Perfect.
Right. And that's one of the cool things about the band I'm currently in is that we have a few songs that other people do, but like I'd say 90% of our set, no one else does in this town.
Right.
And so that's new, but for us, it's not new because we pretty much have stuck with the same songs.
Right.
Since we've added a few here and there, but again, we still also need to change things up and we want to do that. It's just, again, busy lives, people not having time to practice,
right,
and stuff like that. So,
well, and here's the thing too, and I'll say this even from the perspective of being the manager of the Riff now. There was a lot of, I'll just call it what it is, a lot of wasted opportunity with COVID. When people couldn't go out and play or people weren't booking shows as much. What a perfect opportunity to sit at home and workshop new material. And so many people did not. Many people did. There's a lot that did. Or there's some that did, but maybe 2 or 3 songs.
Yeah. Identity Crisis is a COVID baby.
Yeah. The show is a COVID baby.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was such a perfect opportunity for creative people to be creative. And some of them just didn't seize the opportunity. And it's kind of disappointing, to be honest. So Lisa, good question. I feel you. I challenge anybody out there who is just caught up in being busy, being the band or being them, that they haven't challenged themselves to do anything new.
And
challenges on.
What you're saying about being lazy, Chaos Theory, the band I was in prior.
Right.
If you've got good enough musicians, we actually would say, hey, let's learn this for the song for our next show. And we would run through it at sound check.
Right.
And we were ready to play
right
for the show. But you have to have really good musicians.
And that's the thing. And
I've done their homework.
Yes. And we've experienced similar stuff in my bands. Like we'll be setting something up for practice or whatever, getting the PA set up or something. And our guitar player will be noodling a song and I'll start singing along and our bass player will do the run or whatever. And it's like, we should probably do this song. We could do this. I mean, you already know most of it.
Yeah.
And so you come back the next week and boom, there's another song. Like it doesn't have to be rocket science. It just has to be fresh. And the same, I'll say this too, even if you're playing the same songs, change it up. Don't always start and end on the same songs. Don't take your breaks at the same songs. There's a lot of people getting into that rut too. And I feel you. On that. Let's jump back over here to the comments. I'm sure it's going to get spicy over here. Lisa says we're making cranberry wine right now. Might be able to bring some of that for the Thanksgiving show. I'm all for it.
Make cranberry wine shots. Cranberry jelly shots.
Oh my God, that's an amazing idea. Holy cow, that's great. Yeah.
Yeah, just
I love
put
it.
a little gelatin in there and bring them. Yeah.
Wow. All right. Mike says the answer is that there are a lot of good bands in town to spread your attention, so don't go see the same band all the time. It's very true. And you shouldn't be able to go see your favorite band all the time. Quit overplaying. God dang it.
But also, it's the band's responsibility not to be the same band as the other band that's playing in town.
Oh, absolutely.
You know,
Yeah,
I
you
mean,
should differentiate
yeah,
yourself
you
for
should
sure.
be able to
Don't
go-
be Machine Gun Symphony or Mixtapes Light. Be you.
Yeah. Don't go to Archie's and see Don't Stop Believing and then go to the Riff and see Don't
Right.
Stop Believing.
For sure. You heard it here first.
Yep.
Julia says Bender made a conscious choice to pick songs we were interested in playing, knowing that it went against the whole what people want to hear. But in taking the chance to do the songs that we loved, the crowd fell in love with them too.
Mm-hmm.
It was a big chance, but it paid off.
Mm-hmm.
Really good point, Julia. So in my current band that is going to be debuting in December, it's for those of you who followed Sunset Strip, it's going to be kind of similar, except for not 80s rock and dance and all that stuff. It's going to be heavy metal. And there's some we are trying to keep it surface level so that if you're like, oh yeah, I like Metallica, we're going to play some Metallica. We're not going to play like a bunch of deep cuts and all that kind of stuff. But we're playing what we want to play. And for example, the show that we're going to be debuting on, it was just announced this week, so I can finally talk about it.
Hey.
Jinky Fest 4 happening here at the Riff December 18th. And we're playing with Damsel, the Dirty Saints, and the Return of Thrillfall. And some of our bandmates in my band.
Does Jinky play in all those?
Basically. So there was a discussion this past week in my band about, well, maybe we shouldn't play this. Maybe it's going to be too heavy metal or whatever. And I'm like, no, man. We were asked to play the show because we are us. Don't change. Be you. Be true to who you are. They're either going to love you or they're going to not. It's that simple. But I'd rather somebody not like me because I was at least true to myself versus like thinking, man, yeah, I mean, I wish we would have played this and maybe that would have changed your mind. I don't have to question it. I'll be like, well, I did what I do. And if you don't like it, that's cool. It's not for everybody. So yeah, good point, Julia. I totally, I agree with that. Julia says, plus we all have really good taste in music. So our sets are fabulous. We don't play Smoke on the Water. We play Highway Star. Exactly. That's exactly right. That's how it was whenever we were in Sunset Strip and it first started. We didn't play Welcome to the Jungle. We would play, oh, good Lord.
Rocket Queen?
We played Rocket Queen. We played, God dang it. Why is my brain fried? You could be mine. We played Burn in Hell. We didn't play I Want to Rock. That kind of thing. We did what I call second hits, or B-sides, if you will. Meaning you still knew the song. They were still popular songs, but it wasn't going to be the same crap that every other band in town was playing. Lisa says, much of my thought process came from wanting people to continue to challenge themselves and pushing yourself to keep evolving.
Absolutely.
Yes, exactly. Yep. Brian says, can't wait for Jinky. Me either. It's you have no idea. You've been waiting a week. I've been waiting 2 years. Josh knows it's true.
Yeah.
So yeah, super excited for that. Let me jump back over here to our Facebook and get some questions. If I could find it. Doggone it. Yeah. Gotta love it.
Mm-hmm.
Come on, see profile. There we go. All right. We've got questions from Amanda Cunningham. Here's a good one. This is a deep one. Amanda says, how might we implement support for people in our community who struggle with addictions, particularly those with families or children who may be at risk for abuse, in a scene that's mostly dependent upon bars and alcohol sales to thrive? Wow.
That's a very good question.
It's a very good question, and it's a tough one because there's no, there's your answer. Done deal.
Yeah.
The main thing, the obvious go-to to start with would be playing at places that aren't just bars and stuff, or at least playing at places that are more family friendly. It is hard because it does go alongside with the lifestyle, if you will, of being musicians. Look at all the famous musicians. A lot of them have struggled with addiction problems and stuff. So it does kind of go hand in hand. The thing for me personally is separating, hey, I don't need that beer, or I don't need that shot before I go on. I'm just going to get the energy from the crowd.
Mm-hmm.
Not everybody can do that, or not anybody most people think they have to have that, I should say. They've never challenged themselves, again, going back to what Lisa said, to not do that and to see, do I need that, or am I just saying that I need that and don't, without realizing? It's just habitual. It's just like, it's what I do, without actually challenging yourself. You know what, I'm going to do this one without that and see if I still have the same gumption or lack of nerves or whatever it may be. What are some of your takes on this, Josh?
Well, coming from a family that's had bad association with addiction and music, I've always played sober. I just because I know my limits. I really dig the family aspect and playing at more family oriented things. But again, if you're a working musician, that's few and far between. Like there may be the chili cook-off and there may be the Wingapalooza or
right,
the rib fest or whatever. Yeah. But there just really aren't a whole lot of family oriented events
right,
for music, which also means there isn't exposure to the young kids,
which is something we've talked about on the show.
Yeah.
Is like, what are we doing for the next generation? How are we inspiring the next generation?
I would say I work in the field with human services and with people with disabilities, and so I've seen a lot of supports in our community. I would say the first thing that with addiction is to support those agencies that deal with addiction. First of all, they're really underfunded.
Yes.
So
yeah, that's true.
The first thing that we need to do is that if we care for people who have addiction, we need to make sure that they have services that they can utilize,
right,
and not having these places that help individuals with addiction so underfunded that they can't help people. That's first thing. That's paramount.
That's a super, super good point, Josh. Really good point.
And addiction, I'm a big believer in groups of people don't influence the individual. The individual will, hey, there's two of me. The individual will influence the individual.
Right.
So if you've got a bunch of, it's the whole thing about the echo chamber with I don't buy into the, having Facebook tell you what you should believe in. So if you are sending out memes about addiction, that's not going to convince someone who has addiction. If you have somebody in your life that you are concerned with, you need to deal with that on a one-on-one basis.
Yeah.
Whether it's intervention or whether it's sitting down and talking with them. Those are the two things that really will change someone who has an addiction. And ultimately, we can't expect the venues to be what they're not. A bar is a bar. They sell drinks. That's their business model.
Yep.
We can't ask them to take the responsibility of someone else's choices.
Right.
I have the choice every day that I play to go up there and get drunk, to indulge, but I have chosen that's not going to be my life.
Right.
So ultimately, we can do as much as we can to support those who have addiction and to help guide them out of that lifestyle and out of that addiction. But ultimately, the responsibility is on that person.
Yeah, for sure. But I will say, again, I've said on the show, I've never dealt with addiction personally, meaning myself, but I've been involved with people very closely who have. And sometimes it's this, you need to shake that person loose of things. And that thing can be the scene. It could be the fact that, well, how am I supposed to stop drinking if I'm always at a place that serves drinks?
Right.
And if you give that, it's easy to say, well, then don't. Well, then what's the point of playing guitar if I can't show it off to people? Or, And this is the part of being an artist where it's like, yeah, I could be the greatest painter in the world, but if nobody's going to appreciate it, am I really going to want to keep painting after a while?
Right.
No. But at the same time, if you're getting assaulted every time you go to an art gallery, you're not going to want to go.
Right.
So it's about finding other avenues for your music, you know. And I think Josh is definitely right on target with you've got to support the people that are able to give those people the support. That's the number one starting point, is making sure that they have somewhere else to turn to for help. So yeah, I think it's a catch-22, but I think ultimately, and again, I've not dealt with addiction, so I get it, easy for me to say. But it's ultimately got to be your choice anyway. It's got to be that you're ready for a change, no matter. And you're gonna when you get to that point, you're gonna realize what's gonna work for you in that moment. Be it, hey, I need to take a break from music for the next 6 months and get out of a bar, or I need to, I want to be around my family, so I want to play more family oriented events, that kind of thing. Whatever it is, it's different for every person in every scenario. But I think having those options as musicians is important. That way, whenever that person is ready, it's already right there. Those other options besides just playing at bars. So let's jump over here to the comments. I've created a mess on the backstage stuff here. So let's see. Oops. Brian says, Kim Garvery, you mean play more Justin Bieber? Oh, gotcha. I skipped all around. She said, do you think live music at a local level will continue if bands or venues don't figure out how to get younger generation interested?
I was talking about this with Matt Baker the other day.
Oh yeah?
Yep. He did sound for our show, and our venues have done a really poor job of reaching out to the younger audience. They're not cultivating,
right?
Which is terrible, because this golden goose of 80s covers is not going to be relevant for.
That's right.
Forever.
We are becoming what we hate about Branson.
Yep.
Branson is stuck in the 50s and 60s and Elvis and the Beatles and all that, which is great. That's fun. But good God, the last 50 years of it's been done to death. We're there now.
Right.
With the 80s. We are literally there. It's literally that old. It's 40 years old. Let's find what's next. It's funny to me too, because the next generation, the 90s, we just had dial up here at the Riff this past weekend. It still feels niche, and it's just the next thing in music, you know. But it's how oversaturated we are with the 80s rock genre.
Yeah. But you know what? We play Bad Guy and Dance Monkey, and people love those songs.
Absolutely.
And those are in the last 5 years.
Yes. Absolutely.
If you can, and we rock those songs, and if you can find a way to do it in your style, then do it.
Yeah. Yep. And I think too, it's Kim, I'll speak on my behalf. Like, that being said, at the same time, for me, with my dad, who was a musician, he was a drummer, it was really cool. I didn't care that he was playing the Beach Boys and the Rolling Stones. And I was like, 5 years old, and the things that were out then were nowhere near any of that music. But seeing his passion for that music is what actually influenced me to become a musician myself, not the music itself. So I do kind of see two sides of the argument. However, if you're talking about inspiring somebody to pick up an instrument versus getting those people to play their own shows, yes, then now we're back to the material conversation. No kid's going to want to try to pick up a bass guitar and play Cherry Pie when there's 6 other bands in town that do that, and I just don't think there's much of a challenge for young people to want to pick up an instrument anymore. And I think that we need to find ways to inspire. And a lot of the hard problem with that is honestly computers, Pro Tools. You listen to modern music, and there's not a lot of instrumentation that could be redone on stage in a live environment. You could easily do that with tracks or with whatever, but where's the musicianship in that? Where's the challenge? And so I think that's a lot of it too. And I'll speak for Lisa Betancourt as a teacher. There's so many things that are being undercut in education, and always the first is the arts and performance side of school versus academics and athletics. It's always been the way it has been for some ungodly reason, and it will always be that way, unfortunately.
Well, to be honest, athletics brings much more in
Sure.
money-wise to the school. So
At
they're not
then,
going to.
but what about in the long term? You
Well,
know,
in
it's
the long term, but no one thinks really long term.
Right.
They
Exactly.
don't think about how the arts actually affects brain development and critical thinking and outside the box thinking.
right. Yep. So there's Brian with, do you mean play more Justin Bieber? Kim says, I agree, Josh. Additionally, support can be volunteer organizations. If you don't give your resources, maybe give some of your time.
Absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely, for sure. Julia says, at the school, we focus on the music, not the lifestyle choices of the musicians. We show them that rock can stand on its own without all that. Music is medicine for the soul. Booze you can take or leave, and the music is still powerful either way. Yeah. And I think it's important to even still talk, Julia, about the lifestyle and how people have made mistakes with their opportunities and stuff. I think firmly that not in every situation do you have to learn from your own mistakes, but sometimes you can learn from somebody else's mistakes. So if you're able to point that out and why it was a bad choice on their part, that might save somebody too. Brian says, you rock, Joshua.
Brian, you rock.
Lisa says, Joshua, get out of my head. Seriously, you're really my hero.
Oh,
I can be.
I just see what I see.
Baby. Abigail says, jumping off of this subject, I think almost every industry, music included, should think about inclusion with regards to people with disabilities and other groups. A lot of times, not a lot of thought is put into how we can make a space that allows people with disabilities to come and have a good time like everyone else. That's very true. So again, just this past weekend, and yesterday, as a matter of fact, we had the Music Therapy of the Ozarks put on a rock and roll bike music festival thing. And it was very inclusive for people with disabilities and stuff. The whole organization is based around using music as actual therapy to people with disabilities and as a way to express themselves.
Okay, and who is this?
Music Therapy of the Ozarks. There's a right down there by your doodad is a book thing.
Right.
Somewhere down there. It's my office is a mess. But anyway.
I need to get in touch with those people because we at the ARC knew nothing about it.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I actually talked to the director, and I'm actually going to be talking to them about reaching out for sponsorship or something so that we do raise more community awareness for that because they need to be more present in the community.
Right.
It's a good cause, great people, and more people should know about it.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So yes, Abigail, I totally agree. And you're right that it is across every industry, including music. But
this is a bit of a passion of mine with individuals with disabilities.
Right.
I've spent 25 years working with them.
Yeah.
Fortunately, we're pre-COVID stuff when people could go to the movie theaters. They were like Alamo would have like sensory friendly shows,
right,
where they would turn down the volume of the shows. They wouldn't have the lights totally out for individuals with autism. And this is something that I haven't approached you yet, but I was wanting to talk to you about is maybe we could do something club wise where we could have some bands that play not at full volume and not having all the lights, but something that would allow individuals who have sensory issues or who have disabilities to enjoy a good rock show,
right,
or something like that.
Yeah,
so
absolutely.
Absolutely. I wanted to talk to you
and that's and you bring up that's a fabulous idea, Joshua. And I think that if we were to tag along with Music Therapy of the Ozarks, with ARC, with I mean, there's so many programs locally that if they're already not working together, if we could again be that connecting piece, the way that we've been with other musicians in town, how wonderful would that be? I mean, nobody loses in that situation. Everybody wins. So yeah, I think that's a fantastic idea. Brian says they should name alcoholic drinks after video games that will get them in the door. That will get them in the door. Okay.
Oh, for kids. For kids.
Oh,
yeah.
Gotcha. Yeah.
Like Halo.
Hey, you want a shot of Fortnite?
Yeah.
Gotcha. Good call on that, Brian. Julie says it's to Kim's statement, we have 12 to 18-year-old kids who adore Iron Maiden, the Misfits, Megadeth. I got the hiccups. They also love Royal Blood and Ghost and Rival Sons. They will want to rock when they discover how powerful and They will still want to rock when they discover how powerful and rebellious it still is. Yeah, for sure. I will say it's a bit harder, and maybe I'm wrong, because here's the deal. I checked out probably around 2008 with modern music, if you will, meaning I quit listening to the radio for new songs. I listened to the radio for what was familiar. I will say I feel, especially in our area, at least here in Springfield, we don't have as much. I don't hear Royal Blood or that kind of stuff on the radio as much. I do hear it some, but not as much as if I could hear, I don't know, Nicki Minaj or Justin Bieber.
Yeah.
So it is harder to find, I will say.
Yeah. When was the last time a rock band charted like top 20?
Yeah, good question.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I love the rock genre, but I don't want to say the writing's on the wall, but I think the writing's on the wall.
Right.
You know?
Yeah.
Unless the closest.
There's got to be some, unless it's like the vinyl thing where there's some resurgence where
Right.
people go, hey, wait a minute.
Right.
How are you a musician without knowing what an A chord is?
Right.
You know?
And okay, so we still have groups like Foo Fighters, but they've been around 20 years.
Right.
It's
funny you say that. Hang on, because I was watching just some of their live footage from this tour that they're doing, and it got me to thinking, like, we lost. Oh man, I suck with names. Charlie from the Rolling Stones, the drummer.
Charlie Watts.
Thank you, Charlie Watts. And so sometimes when we lose people like that, we talked about this on our last Talking Shop. It makes you think, man, I wish I could have seen them live. We're gonna be saying that about the Foo Fighters before long. It's like, man, go see them right now while they're still sounding good, while they're still alive. Everybody's healthy and good. Because you just never know. So sorry, I didn't mean to step on you on that.
No,
but
so the last really, really young group that came out was Greta Van Fleet.
Right.
That's the only rock group that I can, and where are they now?
Right. Yes. Yeah. 100%.
I mean,
the last time I listened to the
hits,
radio and I was like, oh, I don't know who this is, but this is awesome. I got to find out. I was listening to Q102 and it was the Who, HU, the Mongolian throat singers. That's how I discovered them. And before that, I don't know. I'm talking like 10 years that it's been since I was like, oh my God, that's amazing. I got to check that out.
Mm-hmm.
It's so few and far between anymore.
Right. So I'm thinking that live musicians are going to have to figure out how to integrate these new sounds.
Right.
They're going to have to.
Yep.
If they're wanting to play live, they're going to have to figure out where the trends are going.
Yeah.
And that's not a sellout. That's just no one plays. When was the last original classical music genre album that's charted?
Right.
Music changes.
Yep, it does.
And we have to change with the times.
100% right, Josh. Yep. And then it has to go away for the old to be new again.
Right.
It's not just going to be like, oh yeah, that's been there the whole time and now it's great. No, it's not. That's not the way it works. Same with fashion, same with anything. It's got to go away before it's cool again.
And we have to maybe even develop a new form of rock. I mean, we had hair band, then we had grunge, then we had new metal.
Right.
So we've got to find some sort of genre that's going to replace the old, that's still going to appeal to the mass.
Right. Well, and to carry on, and after we got new metal, then we got what I've commonly referred to as butt rock.
Yeah.
What happened next?
Nothing.
We don't even have a label for it because it's just not there.
No, because everything's gone rap. And I like rap.
And that, by the way, is why you've not seen us do like a 2010s whatever episode. It's just not, it's not there. In my opinion, I don't know if I'm wrong, you tell me, but
I mean, there's groups like 21 Pilots.
Sure, but can you give me 15 songs or 20 songs from 1 year and that specific? That's what I'm saying.
But I mean, and they're even. I wouldn't say that they're not hard rock. They're a pop, and they still have those elements.
Right.
But still, they're not like.
Yeah.
They're not Nicki Minaj or they're not Lizzo.
Right. And that's the thing too. Not to say that rock is the only thing that can be good or that can come up fresh. There's so much stuff that has popped through in the past 10, 15 years that I'm like, that's really good. That's artistry. and it's not rock. You mentioned Lizzo. Lizzo is one that I'm like, I love her. I think she's fantastic. Adele was another one that when she came out, I was like, oh my God, yes, please, more of this. And then we got the whole record industry formula. Let's try to put out a bunch of Adele type people, and they didn't do as well. And then next on to the next thing. But yeah, I want to carry on. Lisa says, don't you feel that new music today lacks the true creativity that existed in the 80s and below? Yeah,
absolutely.
I do. I really do. And I think a lot of that has to do with, to be honest, computers. Like, oh, here's a guitar amplifier. Here's a, and so it's just click, and yep, sounds good. Next. You're not like actually like dialing things in or literally like cutting a speaker so you get distortion and like the actual creative things. There's so much, especially in the 60s, is some of my favorite stuff to hear about when they actually experimented with things in the studio with like taking an amplifier, putting it on a rope and pushing it so it would go like this and swing across the thing, and you would get this kind of effect. Like, people don't do that anymore. You hit a button and it pans the sound this way. Like, there's just no creative nature. There's nothing needed to be able to do what you used to have to do.
Well, I think it's even worse than that. I think things have gotten so formulaic that we've lost the ability, but lost the desire to create melody. I saw this excellent video on YouTube about why pop songs are so simple, is because they don't, to get that instant click and to get that catch into your brain, they keep it the chord structure and the note structure around 3 or 4 notes. Just because it creates that earworm thing. And you don't get melodies like What'll I Do by Irving Berlin, or even Bobby Caldwell in the 70s. Stuff like that where you had these really nice lyrical melody lines. They're not there anymore.
Right. It's about simplicity and
repetition.
Virality, if that's a word.
Virality,
making go viral, making like you said, the earworm thing happen.
It's the difference between What'll I Do and just plain simple things that like get caught in your brain. And if they think that if it gets caught in your brain, then you'll listen to it more.
Yeah, that's very true.
Yeah.
And it'll inspire you too, because it's, I'd rather, it's a feel, it's an atmosphere versus something with the 3-note hook. I can't even think, but it's so simple. It's not even inspiring. So yeah, I totally get that. I wanted to catch up on these comments here.
Let's do it.
Abigail says, as a Gen Zer, I can assure you that won't be a big draw for us. I'm wondering what she's talking about. Maybe Josh can help.
I don't know.
Oh, I'm assuming this.
Oh yeah, the video games.
Yeah, it's probably too niche. I would agree. Brian said, oh boy, all the comments jumped. True statement, Jared. My son plays the trombone very well, and he is no longer interested. Could you imagine a big band getting together with a rock band and playing a concert around here or a couple times a year? Could be amazing. I totally agree, Brian. I really do. And that's the thing. You've got to be able to show it off. Otherwise, it's like, what have I put all this work into? It's not a vanity thing. It's not a hey, look at me thing. It's a help me out, Josh. It's a way to feel accomplished. It's a way to cross the finish line. It's a way to put closure on all the hard work.
Yeah, there's what's the point of doing
the
all
comma,
that?
it's the period. It's the
what's the point of having done all that hard work if no one's going to see it?
Right, exactly. Yeah. Brian says swing style dance would be great. Yeah.
Yeah. Go back to the early mid 90s.
Yeah.
That's where it went.
Kim says sensory friendly shows are so important.
They are.
Yeah. And so and here's the thing too. We did right as I took over as general manager at the Riff, there was on the books already. Feedback School of Music had a showcase. I've already been in talks with them, and they're having another one in January. And in fact, I actually never got a chance, I don't believe, to tell this story on the show, but I'll tell it now. Because as it happened, it hadn't yet been announced that I was a general manager, and so I had to kind of keep it under my hat. But are you getting okay? So the funny thing happened was there was like 7 or 8 bands or duos or that kind of thing that showcase from Feedback School of Music. And the headliner was a band of like 15, 16-year-old kids that did some covers, might have done a couple of originals. Yeah, you can top me off. Thank you. And so really funny story. A couple people close to what was going on knew that I was going to be the new general manager or whatever. And thank you, sir. And so it was funny because I was walking around the room and just kind of seeing how the flow of the room, that kind of stuff, how it all went before I jumped in head first on this new venture of mine. And so this headlining band, I was watching them, and everybody that day did really well. And it was here's the thing too that I did not expect, and I don't know why. I didn't expect students to be adults also. there was adult people, that's a weird thing to say. There was adults. There was a guy playing drums that was an adult, and he was a new student, and it was so cool to see. I mean, I have talked on the show about my grandmother who, before she passed away, had asked for a violin. She wanted to learn how to play just randomly and did. And so I say all that to say that there was a band that played at the end of the night. They were called the Meese, like moose, but multiples. So instead of the mooses, they're the Meese, kind of like geese. So anyway, these guys were all dressed up. You were talking about your drummer being a hot dog. Their drummer was a banana. So I was watching them, enjoyed them. They were playing a mix of all kinds of modern rock with like some 90s rock, some originals, just a really cool vibe to them. And after the show was over, they were the last band to play, and I was upstairs in the mezzanine cleaning and picking stuff up and whatnot. And as a band, not as one person, but literally they were like, "Okay, guys, ready? Let's go. Okay, let's go ahead and go up there." They made it a point to come up and talk to me because I was the guy. And I was like, "Hey, how's it going, guys? You guys did great, all this kind of stuff. Thanks for coming to the Riff and playing. I enjoyed what you did." And I was talking with the singer, and because he was the one doing all the talking. And I said, "Hey, you did a great job." And he immediately was like apologetic, like, "Oh, sorry." He's like, "We just played a show a couple nights ago, and we played, for a couple hours or whatever." And he's like, "Normally I would do better." And he goes, "But I was trying to impress you." And I'm like, "What?" And he was like, "Well, yeah, we heard that you were the guy to talk to or whatever. And, we wanted to impress you because we'd like to play a show here." And I'm like, "Guys, look at you. And as a band, you've all come up to me to talk to me." I'm like, "You're impressing the crap out of me right now. I could care less what you did on stage. You're impressing me more right now by coming up and talking to me." And that's why I said what I said earlier to Julia. And props to Feedback School of Music here in Springfield for teaching not just the instrument, but the business, the way that the inner workings of things. Like they were taught, hey, go see the guy about getting yourself booked. And needless to say, they are booked. They're going to be playing November the 5th here at the Riff with Innuendo. Innuendo did Innuendo with Friends, if you will, with Identity Crisis. And their next one is going to be with the Meese. The Meese is a group of young men that are 15 to 16 years old, maybe 17, I don't know. Check them out, man. They're really good. And it's so nice to see young people getting involved with music, and they're not just playing 80s hits and stuff. They're playing modern stuff. They're playing some Nirvana and some Foo Fighters and stuff like that too, but writing their own material, all kinds of good stuff. So really and truly, if you're really into what we're talking about today, come and check them out. They're really worth your time. They're really good. There's a reason I booked them again. So yeah. Lisa says, "I would be on board with helping with that kind of program, Joshua. Please reach out to me if you do that with Sensory, with the Sensory concert."
Absolutely.
Very cool. Julia says, "I agree that you can't go to radio for good rock and roll anymore. It took me a while to get some of the newer bands that I love." Yeah.
Yeah, you almost have to be like on XM or Sirius or something like that.
Yeah, or even Spotify that'll throw up some stuff. I'm a Pandora guy still. So it's gonna give me what my algorithm is. So yeah, that's the unfortunate side of that. Mike says, "Let's be honest, the Billboard charts really don't matter. There are so many mediums to hear music that the sales, other than the sales and radio, who can really tell anymore? I mean, just Billboard really isn't the standard by which we should judge anymore." You know, I don't know about that.
Yeah.
There's a side to it that I agree with, and that side being that it's actually the music industry saying, "Hey, this is what's popular," right? But at the same time, yeah, it is.
I have my thoughts on that.
Oh, let me get you back in.
Well, I've seen the other side, and Billboard. I'll just hold my thoughts on that.
Okay, well, give me the simple. Do you agree with Mike?
I agree with Mike.
Okay, there you go.
There's a lot more that goes on with Billboard than what just actual popularity is.
Oh, for sure. Oh,
there's a lot of
there's a business there.
No,
Trust
well,
me. I get
it's
that.
almost. Do you remember what payola was?
Payola sounds super familiar.
Okay, so back in like the, I guess, 50s, 60s, record companies would pay radio stations to play music, which
Sure.
artificially generated.
Sure.
There's a bit.
It's no different from boosting a post on Facebook, basically.
Well, not even. It was. Yeah, it
meaning
was,
that it's not organic is what I mean by that.
It was definitely not organic,
right?
And there's a lot of unorganic stuff going on with Billboard charts.
Gotcha.
There's a lot more of who you know besides where your chart is.
Right. Yeah.
So
that's true.
Yeah.
All right.
So yeah.
Kim says my son thinks 80s music isn't creative at all. He thinks electronic music is better and more inclusive because anyone can create it. I'll agree with the second part. I think that 80s music is quite creative. It's just going to what we were talking about just a minute ago with billboards and with what's popular and stuff.
Well, okay,
it became formulaic, but it's definitely people were sitting down and coming up with riffs and things like that. Versus now, it's like they're not going for riffs; they're going for hooks.
Okay, so inclusivity, I'm going to have to argue with what her son thinks because inclusivity.
I hope you're going with this where I think you're going with this.
Okay, so if anyone can do it, then that's not inclusive. Well, okay, yes, that is inclusive, but that's not artistic. Okay, if anyone could write Mozart concertos, then Mozart would not be special. It's like that line from the Incredibles, when everybody's super, then nobody is. So that's kind of my thing on it. If you can push a button and you can make sick beats by pushing a couple buttons, that takes no talent or artistry, no matter how inclusive it is.
Yep. You went right where I was hoping you would go.
So inclusivity, I don't think would. It may be fun, but anybody can push a button on the Casio and it'll play for them.
Right.
That doesn't make them a great artist.
Yep. Now, that's not to say that can be a great starting point to becoming a great artist.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
So in that, I think inclusivity, if I'm saying that right, everybody should have access to that starting point.
Right.
Not everybody should finish there, though.
Right.
Not everybody should say, okay, now I've got it.
The way that I see inclusivity is, are you good enough to play the music? If so, I don't care what you look like or
exactly
what you do, what your disability is, or that.
Yep.
Who you are doesn't matter to me. What you sound like.
Yep.
What you create is what music is.
Yeah. Yep.
But,
what you bring to the table.
Right.
Yep.
And that's more democratic rather than inclusive at some points. But again, not everyone can be Mozart. And we can't penalize people who have those great talents because other people don't have those talents.
Right. Yeah. Let's see here. Brian says, Rainbow, UFO, great stuff. Yeah, for sure. Mike says, I disagree on the creative comment, but he isn't wrong on inclusive.
Mm-hmm.
Abigail says, the Gen Z comment was in response to Justin Bieber, actually. Oh, there you go. Even better. So bring on those Minecraft shots. Julia says, I love Dave Grohl's quote. By the way, he has a book out right now, and I hear it's fantastic.
Dave Grohl?
Yeah.
Okay.
I love Dave Grohl's quote. That's what happened with Nirvana. Just a bunch of guys that had some old shit instruments, and they got together and started playing some noisy ass shit, and they became the biggest band in the world. That can happen again. You don't need a effing computer or the internet or The Voice or American Idol. Yeah.
You know what?
And we've done a show on that. And
Again,
that's created a whole beast of its own.
Put up
those
that
shows.
comment again.
Okay.
Yeah. It can happen again. And The Voice and the American Idol, those are, to me, those perpetuate the
destruction.
The destruction. Well, and
of the industry, I think so.
Okay, the
and
industry.
Here's again to recap what we've already talked about on that episode. My opinion, that creates a destruction of it because everybody thinks they're a freaking expert and they've not even picked up an instrument.
Right.
Drives me nuts. I can't stand it.
Right.
And for like The Voice, a lot of them don't play an instrument. Some play every now and then. You'll see somebody sing and play guitar. Most of them just sing. One's, and at my house, Anthony will be like, "Oh, she was flat." You get up there and sing. It's like you can't understand until you've lived it. I mean, I wouldn't try to talk about how to teach a classroom if I've never stepped foot in one and try to be a teacher, and say, "Oh, that's a great teacher. That's a bad teacher." Like you just cannot make those comparisons. You don't know what that person was hearing on stage or what they weren't hearing, or whether they were under the weather or they weren't. Like just so much stuff. I enjoy the fact that it gave a platform for people to be discovered. I hate what it's done to the industry as a whole. That's my 2 cents.
Yeah.
There's that back if you need
Right.
that.
Yeah. Yeah. And like The Voice and the American Idol, like what I was saying was that it's even gotten worse because if you watch, I tried watching one of those shows, maybe it was America's Got Talent, and it really, you have to have even more than, you have to have a story now to even get on those shows.
Oh, and that's the reason I quit. I started watching American Idol,
like
and then it was like, why are we at this
Yeah.
person's house before they even sing?
Right.
How freaking produced can we get?
Yeah, American, the X Factor or whatever those shows
Everybody's
are.
got to have a story.
Everybody's got to have a story. They've got to be some sort of paraplegic,
Right.
blind, and nowadays it used to be that the industry just said, "Do you look okay? Well, we can fix the voice."
Right.
Now, with these types of shows, it's like, well, do you look okay? And have you had a
And
tragic
notice everybody
backstory?
on once they make it through, everybody gets a makeover.
Yep.
Everybody, it's
Yep.
Ugh.
Yeah.
It's the worst part of the business.
Yeah.
Everything about it.
Yeah. And that's always been a part of the industry, even if you go back to the 20s and 30s.
Look at
they
the
had to look
Jackson
good.
5. They
Yeah.
had a look. They had an
Yeah.
image. Like
Yeah.
it's yes.
But it
There's
has
purpose to it.
It has become a monster now.
Yeah.
You can't get a second look at all.
No, and that's something like about I think of like 70s rock with we're talking 38 Special earlier, Leonard Skinner. Some of these bands they had some ugly Molly Hatchet, ugly people involved.
Absolutely.
That were
ZZ Top-
fantastic.
Yeah, ZZ Top would
musicians.
not be a band
Oh my God,
today.
no. Yeah.
Would
Look
not
at
make it.
Edgar Winter, an albino for crying out loud. Amazing and deserved to be accredited with all the stuff that he put out. Nowadays we would be like, oh, we got to buy this album because it's done by an albino. Like,
Yeah.
no, do it because it's a great musician.
Right.
Ugh.
And that's why I think, tying into the Billboard thing,
Mhm.
I think a more accurate charting metric would be like what Spotify plays are.
Right.
And
Yeah.
YouTube plays.
Well, and it's a lot similar to what you're saying to like Nielsen ratings for TV. It's so hard to gauge that because we've got DVR, we've got Hulu, we've got all these other platforms. So in that sense, yes, I do agree with you. And I think it was Mike, perhaps, that was talking about Billboard, that it's not quite the industry standard. It can't be anymore because of the difference in platforms. I get that.
Well, one of the top charting rap artists is this guy named Tom McDonald. Like I told you,
Yeah.
he's not on a label. He's 100% independent, and his stuff is not played on radio.
Yep.
But his Spotify's, every time he releases a song, it goes to number 1 or 2 on the Spotify hip hop charts.
Yeah.
Because that people are listening to his music, and it is totally organic. He's got a huge fan base. So much so that other rap artists won't release on Fridays because that's the day he releases his songs.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Dang.
So Yeah, it's and that's why I'm saying those other platforms are a better metric than Billboard nowadays, because Billboard is industry metric,
Sure.
and they keep people out to push the people that they want.
Yeah, absolutely so. Scott Gomery says today's music is more creative. It's just that most people don't listen to or don't want to listen to the kind of metal that is. I'd be interested to hear what you find exponentially more creative about that, whatever that metal is, as compared to other genres and stuff. I just would. Brian says, "Preach, Jared," and Julia says, "What does Julia say?" I believe that The Voice and American Idol are to blame for ruining the song Hallelujah. They've ruined a lot of songs.
I think Jeff Buckley's to blame for.
Ooh.
unpopular opinion.
Right.
Never cared for his version.
Oh, Brian says that's why Sing Off was so great. The judges walked in their shoes. Yeah, and they know that though. That's a problem, and that's why they have judges on there that are singers. Not all of them are, but most of them are. But it's all about, it's a TV show. Let's not forget that. So it's all about viewership and.
Have you seen the ads for the new TV show of the Battle of the Cover Bands? Okay.
Well, first of all, I don't watch TV because I think it's all garbage.
Yeah, well, I see it. I see it on YouTube. Yeah, it's
Gotcha.
What's his face? The Tonight Show guy.
Jimmy Fallon.
Jimmy Fallon. Yep, he's hosting it, and it's really a misnomer. It should be a battle of the tribute bands, because these cover bands that they're showing look just like the bands that they're covering.
Gotcha.
So, yeah, when we've had that conversation, tribute band or cover band, these are tribute bands.
Yeah.
So that looks pretty terrible.
Brian says, I have 2 Tom McDonald CDs.
Yeah. They're good stuff.
All I got. All right. Well, we've still got other amazing questions, and
Yeah.
I think that this has been a fun format. I like doing this. So we might revisit this in a few weeks.
Yeah.
And I'll before it gets lost in my phone, I'll write down some of these other suggestions and questions and stuff, and we'll continue the conversation from there. Because I think you guys have had some great ideas, some great conversations, and I really dig it. So I hope you guys have had a good time. I wish my mouse would work. That'd be great. I took the thing out. That's why.
You got to have the connection going, dude.
Gotta get yourself connected. The writing's on the wall. Here comes a little jingle just for you all. Oh, yeah. All right. So let's go. Yeah, something
There?
like that.
That
Yep, that'll work. And there you are.
Yep.
So let's go ahead and hit it.
Oh,
you guys.
gosh, we could have talked all night.
Really could have. We've almost gone 3 hours,
That's
and I sure
weird
didn't
for the
plan
two
on
of
that.
us.
But right. But honestly, it's been great conversation with great people who obviously are very invested and care
Mhm.
about what's going on around them and in their community, which I think is fantastic. Yeah. So like Josh said, we are all out of time. Kim Hart says, great show. Love your insight and love of the arts. Thank you very much, Kim. Yeah, it's definitely there. I have a lot of passion for it. I know Joshua does
Yeah.
as well. He wouldn't have said, hey, if you ever need a hand with this show, if he didn't give a care. He cares just as
I
much
do.
as I do. And there's a lot of people in our community who do. And shout out to Gene Whedon. I don't have a little fancy gimmick, but here's 5 cups to Gene Whedon this week for saying, you know what? Yeah, you were telling me about that band, The Meese. We'll play with them. We're not scared. We'll play with them. It doesn't matter if they're 15 or 16. Sounds good. So kudos to you, Gene Whedon, and to the rest of the guys in Innuendo. I'm looking forward to that show again, and I think that's November 5th. So check it out. Now let's see what we got. Tell them, Josh.
Hey, check out our website at www.audioroast.com. You can find merch, past playlists, upcoming events, and all that good stuff.
Yeah. Julie Lee Cobb says, thanks for letting me chime in and sound off as always. Now we're going to turn down the lights and watch Nosferatu. Good stuff. Good stuff. Thank you guys for tuning in, as always. Let's see here. Final thoughts. I don't plan my final thoughts, in case you can't tell. Here's my final thoughts. Don't drink and drive. God dang it. I was coming home from work the end of the night the other night. This is an hour and a half after the RIF closed, and this person was not from the RIF. But I was over at like Kansas and Battlefield, headed home, and got behind a car that was like so obviously drunk. It was scary. Make good choices, be good people. Don't forget that times are hard for everybody right now. So may your cup of coffee and your love of music be strong, but your sense of humor be even stronger. We'll see you next week right here on the Audio Roast Podcast.